Welcome to Through the Wire.
Through the wire, little ass voice you got, boy.
Hey man, I'm still going through it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need my guys to have my back on this one because I'm
weak ass immune system.
You had the exact same cold 2 days before,
but came back.
But you missed an episode, and then I missed an episode, and came back in the same amount of time. Okay. What are you talking about?
But you're gonna miss next episode though.
But that has nothing to do with my immune system. I'm gonna be on. I'm on
low
vacation.
Management is what they call it.
Miami is getting the NBA Finals, and they're also getting Through the Wire, man. Mm-hmm. June 15th, we are in Miami. The link is in the description, ttwtour.com. You got RSVP 100% free. The venue looks fire. We put together a great show in Philly, and we try and do it again in Miami, where the NBA Finals is going to be, man. That's
it's
going to
be a great show. It's going to be a real good show.
You're going to be feeling good in Miami.
You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like
305 boy.
I'm feeling like Floyd in this Mayweather.
I knew that was coming.
But yeah, 305. That's the second home. I ain't been there in a minute. The way my life is structured, so I'm ready to go back, see how my city doing or whatever. And I'm gonna be saying that at the show. How I was telling the players.
I was gonna say this is my city.
This is my city, right? It's my city. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I love this tour shit because it shows you who really watches. Because everybody always come up to us and tell us, man, I watch every show. I haven't missed a show since 2009. Like, damn, homie, in 2009, I was in 8th grade. Like, no, but for real, I watch every show. Then you go on Twitter. When is the Miami show? How do I RSVP for the Miami show? When y'all announcing the Miami show, so you don't watch every episode.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you would know.
We already announced it.
Boom. Shaka-laka.
The doors open at 5:30. The show starts at 6, which will put us up into Game 6 of the NBA Finals, if there is a Game 6, which we hoping for. We want as much basketball as possible. And the idea is for us to do the live show, and during our meet and greet part of it, the game is on, so we can watch the game together. Come on, man. Because I know those tickets to be at the game is going to be $1,000. It is free to chill with Through the Wire that night, and you still get to watch the game. Come on, man. No way better.
Free watch along.
Another thing I got in my mind.
What's up?
KB getting married soon.
Soonish. I got my watch on right now. This is the one I'm wearing to my wedding.
Okay.
That's a nice watch.
Trying to break it in.
Where you get
it from?
I got it from the place that we be going to.
Okay.
The Cartier tank. Got to break in the leather because the leather's like terrible.
305. He getting married. Stacks on deck. Patron on ice.
What you think about?
KB need him a motherfucking party on.
He do.
Yes, we do.
Come on. Big booty Judy.
I was gonna say, you okay with big booty shippers though?
Absolutely. I'm not showing up without it. But
so I'm gonna need one of these guys on my end to help facilitate that.
It's either that or Vegas.
Oh, yeah, we do have to go to Vegas for another show.
It's gonna be so much going on in Vegas. I kind of like the idea of Miami.
They're going to that Vegas show so he can invite old boy that's built like an action figure.
Damn!
Oh, y'all crazy.
They feel like an action figure.
Built like an action figure.
That's why cameras be needing to be rolling 24/7.
Yeah.
Because if we had that on film, we'd have an extra 250,000 subscribers. That video would have had a life of its own. But yeah, somebody on the end let's facilitate something.
Yep.
304. Or we could just do both.
Yeah, why not? You only get married once, so have fun. I mean, you're supposed to only get married. I mean, it's a little difficult.
Ain't she going like on something for a weekend?
Yeah, theirs is weak though. They go into like a cabin in the woods,
right?
So and a wine tour. Scary. A wine tour. That's also
that's like a weekend, right?
Yep.
So he 3-day trip. 2 days.
Yep.
So we could do something in Miami and we could do something in Vegas. The only thing about Vegas though, I don't know.
We just got to gamble like hell, and then get people to follow us while we winning.
Vegas a little nasty.
It's very nasty.
You don't think?
But in the best way possible.
It's way more nasty than Miami.
Oh, okay.
Way more. Motherfucker will ask you to take a picture and ask for $15.
Yep. Oh, that's
and you was like, come on, let's take this picture. I'm like, Darrick, don't do that.
That's cap.
Anyways, let's talk about this damn game, man. I took a drive after this game. I was mad.
Damn.
Took a drive after the game?
I told y'all yesterday I got a little drunk early, and I was anticipating this game. My back was hurting, and it was bullshit. So I had to take me a drive to let off some steam.
I was waiting on that damn game, too. I started stream. I was going to stream just the game, but I was like, you know what, let me stream for a minute. Let me build some anticipation for this game. That game was fucking terrible. The first half was close. It was close.
Ish.
Yeah.
But
And
you
I
get
had no horse in the race. I just wanted a close game.
Yeah, no, I think everybody
Right.
just wanted a good game. I think you expect game 7s to come down to like both teams. They know each other at this point. It's no even keel advantage on either side. We finna just get a dog
it came
fight.
down to the stars, and the Heat stars showed up. Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler and Caleb Martin.
Darrick White tried.
How many game 7s have we had this year? 2, right? And they've both been ass because Jason Tatum had 52 in that first one
Oh,
when they blew out
Yes.
the 76ers.
Yep.
And then this one. So game 7s don't be living up to the hype. 3?
We had the Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Warriors,
That one was real. That one
good.
was real.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Oh,
game.
Steph dropped 50 and yeah, that was a real one. You're right. Yeah. But 2 of the 3 have been like duds, but like one of them we got a legendary performance from Tatum, and then this one was like shit. In 2021, the Charlotte Hornets waived Caleb Martin, and here he is, potentially getting the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's 1 vote away.
Yeah, and it's kind of like
It's too late to buy this stock in Caleb Martin now.
and it's kind of like from the jump, the momentum just kind of felt like it was ruined
No,
with
he
the Tatum ankle
Tatum ankle
on the
hurt.
first possession of the game.
that was crazy.
That was just like the downfall of the whole game
was
at that
crazy.
point, which is very unfortunate. You don't really expect nothing like that, and I hate to see it, but he did try to play through it. He definitely wasn't Tatum. So, and that's Jalen Brown definitely wasn't playing like Jalen Brown.
Let's stay on
that's-
Tatum for a sec because I got a lot to say about Jalen Brown as. Yeah, Tatum even said after the game he was a shell of himself. I even went back to look at all of his stats in the potential closeout games from like the last 2 years. He averages like 20 plus shot attempts in every closeout game before this, and yesterday he had like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
The shots he did take, they didn't look like they were going down most of the time.
I mean, it was
either.
so bad that they changed their whole offense to be revolving around Darrick White because Tatum would usually have those possessions, and he must have went to the huddle and say, "Hey, I ain't got it right now. You know, somebody else got to step up."
The first play of the second half, they dumped it to him in the mid range. He had that shot.
And
That
he
motherfucker.
shot that so
It was hard, bro.
Man,
Yeah.
this is hard.
So to have to, it's a terrible way to end this series for the Celtics specifically because, again, I ain't got no dog in this fight. But to have Tatum and them play so well for 3 games and then 2 seconds into the new game, he rolls his ankle. And it wasn't like one of those fake rolls. Sometimes you
That
get like
shit
one of those
hit
fake
ground.
rolls. It was,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's a bad way to go out. But I would, as a neutral fan, I would rather the Miami Heat who would have their star players be at least close to healthy in the finals versus Tatum trying to play on a bum ankle for 4 games.
And it's kind of crazy because the Celtics have the more talented roster.
For
Like
sure.
you would expect, even if Tatum does have a bum ankle, that Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown, Darrick White, Al Horford, they have so many talented players that they would have enough
Let's
where they
ask
could be
this
able to
question.
make up some of that ground.
That's where you want Jalen Brown to do something.
Has the Heat played a team who hasn't had a more talented roster than them this
Nope.
entire playoff?
Nope. Yep.
Every single
The
team has been
Heat-
better on paper.
I don't know how they do it, but they
You got to
managed.
give a lot of credit to Eric Spoelstra. And
Come on.
Yeah.
That Celtics offense, I'm telling you, that Heat zone be slowing that down.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
facts.
It really does. And credit to like what you talking about with Jalen Brown. I forget what the exact numbers are, but their assist to turnover ratio, and it could be a little bit of Jason Tatum too. It was like 1.
Yeah.
It was literally like 1.
Jalen Brown has always been a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, dude. In the series, it was worse than that.
Yeah.
We were talking about yesterday how loose his goddamn handle is for somebody that's an All NBA caliber wing. There's no way he should be losing. And this has been the case for the entirety of his career. This is not just this series, but specifically in this game, there was 3 different times where he's just dribbling and the ball just slips out of his hands and it's a turnover. You're like, bro, I don't know how you even get to that point.
The funny thing is, he has an improved handle.
Yes, he does. That's crazy. He's literally puts the ball on the floor and creates his own shot sometimes. So it's like you would think it would be a little bit more tight, but sometimes that
Yeah,
motherfucker's
I mean
just
that's
smooth.
why the turnovers was. I feel like that was the more the negative part. The shots he was taking, they didn't fall, but you could tell like he had that. He was on a mission. Like, and I felt Jason Tatum, if he was 100% healthy, he would have been the same way where they was gonna go home living on their shot and what they do. And
I
he
will
took
say
24
this.
damn shots. He didn't make them.
Yeah.
But it's just like I kind of like that from the
I'm
start.
fine with that. To
Yeah.
me, 8 turnovers. Though,
The 8
is
turnovers is where it's
Yeah.
bad.
And it's also the type of turnovers. There are certain turnovers where it's like you're trying to create, you're trying to, or you're getting double teamed, or you know what I mean, things like that. But like KB was saying, it's just so many plays where you're trying to take somebody off the dribble and you're losing the ball. You're giving them the ball. When Kyle Lowry is slapping the ball out of your hands from you going to the rim, even that is like, okay, at least you. But like when you're just dribbling and you go between the legs and they send you left and the ball just kind of going off your foot and now they in transition, and we seen that 3 times, then it's just like, bro, what the hell?
He shot 16% from 3 this series. 16%. The Boston Celtics had 2 games. 2 of their 3 worst 3-point shooting games all season happened in this series. The first one was in Game 6, and they miraculously won behind Darrick White's putback. So I thought, like, okay, usually the muck it out games is the Miami. That's what the Miami Heat want every single night. And in Game 6, the Boston Celtics ended up winning that. I'm like, okay, if they can win like this, the Game 7 at home should be a shoe-in. And they had another terrible 3-point shooter performance when now the defense ain't there either. And that home court advantage for the Boston Celtics has been non-existent for 2 years now, where they're basically 500 in the playoffs specifically at home, which makes no sense because even before the game started, the crowd was going crazy. This was one of the loudest crowds in the Game 7 that we've seen, other than Sacramento, I would say.
They had all the Celtics. They had a few Celtics legends in the building.
Yep, a lot of them, man. KG was there, Rondo was there, Jamal Crawford was there, IT was there. Shaq and them was working it, so they had a lot of people. Jack Harlow was there.
I feel like they were on pace to do something good because to come out the game, both teams were flat.
Yeah, they were.
And I was like, okay, the Celtics started making some shots, and I'm like, man, if y'all can capitalize on the Miami Heat starting slow, y'all gonna have them trying to work themselves into the game the rest of the way. But the Celtics couldn't really get nothing going on the offensive side of the floor. And I think that's where they kind of lost their mojo. If they could have taken advantage of the slow start that he had, because the Heat came out and they couldn't really get anything going. And then to end that first quarter, that shit started clicking. And before you know it, Max Strus done hit a 3. It's 14-11. Jimmy done hit the baseline shot, scored 2 back-to-back
we didn't even
shots.
talk about Bam yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I think the Miami Heat had a great game plan, and it was we're gonna chase y'all off the 3-point. It seemed like every 3 that the Celtics did take, even though they shot terrible, it was contested heavily, and I think that was a great game plan. They was running out on shooters, the rotations were on point, and they made it tough for them to even make 3s. I know they shot bad, but I will give a lot of credit to them shooting bad to the Celtics.
Yeah,
I mean to the Heat.
They ran a lot of zone in this one, a ton of zone. And we gonna do a little preview, but I'm excited to see what that zone looks like against Jokic, because I went back to watch part of, not the entire 2 games that they played against each other earlier in the season, and they ran a decent amount of zone against Jokic, and he was fucking it up. And obviously, the Miami Heat are a different playoff team, the regular season team, as we see time and time again. But that, I don't know, Jokic is one of those dudes, and like a zone is not what we want to run against him, especially because 3 out of the 4 other people on the court are really good 3-point shooters, and the one dude that's not a really good 3-point shooter, we just saw him do it against the Lakers in Game 4. And
he's an incredible cutter.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going too far here. I want to stay on Game 7 before we start doing some preview stuff. But one of the moments that won this game for the Miami Heat is in the second quarter where Jimmy Butler went off the court for his first rest of the game. It's only rest of the game practically. And they had like a 6-point lead. And by the time he checked back in, it was like a 12-point lead. And I feel like when the star player is not on the court, especially with the Miami Heat, who at this point don't even run a second center, it's Hayward, Highsmith, no Kevin Love. Those are the moments, if you're the Boston Celtics, you got to capitalize, and they didn't. And it was a lot of Caleb Martin. It was a lot of Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry, who didn't have a crazy offensive game, but his impact was there. Jimmy Butler off the court, you lose those minutes, is crazy.
That moment for me within that is when Hayward Highsmith ripped up Tatum.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
yeah, that's
a big moment.
That said a lot,
and
man.
It's been a long, like, grinded out series or a couple series for the Miami Heat, but I feel like that zone, in just the fact that, like, they seem like they've been kind of like they have that little bit in the extra tank for this upcoming series, and I think that zone has been a big part of it. And also, Jimmy Butler, he's had a lot of moments where he teed up. I think those 3s were really big for them too.
Yes.
But he's been coasting.
Yeah.
It's not like he's had a drop of 40 point and go crazy. Like, he's just been coasting. So, I think that's been beneficial for them just kind of moving on and being in this spot.
And I feel like in this series, it seemed like whenever the Miami Heat did get a lead, they did a good job of keeping it. Whenever the Celtics had a lead, it felt like Miami still had a chance.
Yep.
I don't know how the Celtics could be that talented and can't hold leads, but the Miami Heat finds a way, and you could trust them to be down 8 or 9 points and know that they are going to come back. The Boston Celtics, if they down 8 or 9, it kind of feels like this motherfucker finna go to 15, 16.
It was like, I forget what the number was, but they haven't lost when they were up 10 going into the 4th.
Oh, that was like historically, that was like a whole like 67-0 type shit.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
which is rightfully so.
Yeah.
One's in fourth quarter, double-digit lead. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Some teams don't got that.
yeah. I was gonna
luxury.
say that's what you need in that,
One
like a
thing about the
championship
Boston
being a
Celtics,
team.
they have talent and they can score and different things like that, but their offense is very frustrating at times. Whether they have a lead or they're trying to fight back, they take some very poor shots. And I know Joe Mazzulla likes them to shoot the threes or whatnot. It was one possession where I was so proud of Marcus Smart for 2 seconds. He slowed it down, and then he just shot a three. I was like, what the
Bro.
fuck?
It felt like it
He
was.
pulled it out and then just shot the three. I'm like, what was the point of pulling
No,
it out? I
I-
thought you were trying to get something going, and you just chucked up a shot. That literally blew my mind.
You see what they said, and like that when did Marcus Smart say our offense is random?
Yep.
You see it literally watching them.
He literally was going down the court, and then he backtracked and was like,
Well, they
and
went
then shot
into
it.
they
I
went
said,
into
what the fuck?
desperation with like. It felt like 4 or 5 minutes left in the third. It felt like they started going into desperation mode already.
Yeah,
And the game was like out of their hands, but it was a lot of time left for them to come back.
yeah. No, and you could definitely tell the Miami Heat had an offensive game plan. When Darrick White, we're gonna try to get him switched on to Jimmy or Bam or somebody. We're gonna work on that. Then if you help, we now swing it to our. It was a game plan with the Heat. Offensively, you couldn't really see the game plan with the Celtics.
Yeah, and I like how and I think it's going to go into the once they go against Denver too and put in Jokic in a pick and roll. But those high screens they do with like Duncan Robinson and Max Strus, the big has to come help.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to get open looks, and it's hard to get open looks as just shooters in the playoffs. But that's a way to generate them, and that's part. I think it's just Eric Spoelstra. You got to give him credit.
You know, they ran a great play in the late, like with 8 minutes left in that fourth quarter for Duncan Robinson to come off a curl screen for that corner three on the inbound. That to me,
He
is
was smiling.
yeah, that and
Talking to the crowd, he was doing
yeah,
everything,
He
bro.
was doing.
It's probably
He was
probably
quiet
gotta
as
be
hell.
a great moment to go from $90 million man to one of the worst contracts in the league to being back to playing quality, good minutes for a roster.
Yeah, especially when you go into the finals.
Yeah.
You're one of the big reasons why.
Backdoor
Yeah.
cut, backdoor cut. Duncan
Bro,
Robinson not even a
he's-
3-point shooter no more. He's just going to backdoor cut you to
I
death.
seen
That's
him
because you
driving
don't
this
overplay the
series.
three.
Exactly.
Overplayed three.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, he had a great series. Gabe Vincent, I mean, the one game that he missed, you could tell that they missed him a ton. And for him to come out yesterday and play impactful minutes was dope.
Malcolm Brogdon, only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was mostly because of injury, though, because he didn't play the previous game.
Yeah.
Robert Williams didn't get a lot of burn this series at all. I felt like when he was on the court, it was
was
impactful.
great.
Was
Yeah.
finding for lives.
Yeah.
They had like a live game.
And he was doing a great job on offensive boards. It seemed like they really struggled to get him off the board, especially when they was playing zone. Cause
And he was playing good D on Jimmy too.
I wish they
Yeah.
took more advantage of that. They won a game in Game 6 off a tip. Early in that first quarter, they got a bunch of offensive rebounds, and I saw Max Strus. He missed another box out in Game 7 early on, and I was like, man, y'all should do that because Max Strus is kind of smaller for everybody else on the floor of the Celtics besides Marcus Smart. And even then, Marcus Smart might be able to out-physically move him. But, like, whoever he's guarding should just go and crash that glass 'cause he's
Yeah.
struggling. He's struggling to keep them dudes off the glass, and I felt like that was, again, one of the things that the Celtics, to me, they had all of these different chances early on to take control of the game at home, but that offense just the shots weren't falling. The Tatum injury, they made an early substitution and took Marcus Smart and Tatum out. And again, the Celtics just play too cool. They play way too cool. Outside of Marcus Smart, they don't really have dog in them.
I was gonna
Tatum,
say-
when he got ripped up, his reaction to that kind of had me distraught. He didn't chase him.
Uh-huh.
And he just kind of was like, and it's just like,
I feel like that's kind of on Joe too, because on the opposite side, and Eric Spoelstra is one of the greats, but it's just like it was an 18-point game. I think they got a fast break layup. Eric Spoelstra timeout.
right.
What you see is just like you see the Celtics. They have a downside. It's no timeout. It's just kind of like no change of game plan or nothing. It's like let's ride it out because we know we got the talent.
I think that may potentially be the experience part. You know, Joe Mazzulla is a first-year head coach, and that has been a big conversation about him in the playoffs, and hopefully, go forward and learn.
it just came out this morning. It's unlikely he's going to get fired.
And I think that's the right move.
Yeah.
It should be. I can't.
You gave an
believe we even
extension
have
to a rookie
report that.
coach, and I don't understand how you can
Yeah, no.
take it away from him
And
just
you
because.
lost Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
And I would argue that he, other than the 2 times where he didn't call the timeout earlier in the playoff run, he's been all right.
Yeah.
You know,
And he went against Eric Spoelstra.
maybe the philosophy is something that you go in and not change, but like make some adjustments to. Where it's 3 a layup, I just don't feel great about that in the playoffs. And we see it time and time again that you do need to utilize the mid-range area, especially in the playoffs.
And you have two good mid-range shooters.
But he's a 34-year-old coach. I mean, going against one of the great, like the league determined that Eric Spoelstra is one of the top 15 coaches in league history. Like that's real. You know, he went against that and got out coached, which I understand.
Yeah, I think just this offseason they need to really find a way to make the offense less random.
Talk to me about this offseason though, because
yes, that's what I want to say.
Jalen Brown is up for his Supermax extension, $300 million potentially. He also, so they can offer it to him this offseason, but he doesn't have to. He don't have to sign it this offseason. He's got 1 year on his current contract, so it could happen at the end of next season. But I'm curious if Boston is going to give him that Supermax right now and try to deal with whatever later down the line.
Can we talk about what that would look like?
Absolutely.
$50 million. Austin on it. $50 million in 2024 to 2025. First year of this deal of the Supermax, he will be making $50 million.
Inflation is crazy, but that number is also crazy.
The second year jumps up to 54. Third year 58. Fourth year, 62, and the last year of his deal in 2028, he would be making $66 million in a single year.
And I think at the end of that, he would be 30 to 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So he would probably get another one. Yeah, wow.
If he continues at this, he's got to make an All-NBA team. That's all you got to do.
Handle, but it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very pricey price tag for a guy who's your number 2 option.
Really good number 2.
Yeah,
one of the best number 2s.
If I'm Boston, I'm probably willing to bite that bullet, but I don't think this is like. To me, this is more so like what Jalen Brown wants. You know, I feel like it's more so that situation. So I can't. It's kind of out of their control, but it's hard to turn down $300 million too at the same time.
Absolutely.
And he hasn't shown us that he's unpredictable. So right now, I'm assuming he's going to re-sign it.
I think there's a world where he gets moved this offseason and he still is able to sign that money.
Oh, for sure. I don't think the money's going anywhere. He's going to get paid wherever he goes.
I'm looking to move him if I'm Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I just am. It's nothing against him. It's not that he's a bad player or anything. But Boston has to get better. They got to be able to compete. And
it's going to be hard to do that with $600 million wrapped into 2 guys.
For sure. And I think
you might be pigeonholing yourself at year 3 of his contract.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because, I mean.
And I think the things that are out there could help.
Yeah, it's so many times we've
What
seen.
specifically?
The Blazers.
Yeah. That's the only one that makes. That's the one that makes the most sense.
Are you saying Damian Lillard or are you saying?
Of course.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought
they don't want that. They don't want that pick.
No,
they trying to win.
Yeah. No, Damian Lillard would be great next to Tatum. I think that would be very fun.
I see a lot of it boils down to me is that this team doesn't have a great amount of positive playmakers. I trust Tatum. He's got better on the playmaking team. I trust Marcus Smart kind of.
But he's not a.
That's not what he's been able to do it and do good at it. Dame has the opportunity to be great at it.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Because as much as Dame can average 35, he also is a really, really good playmaker. Yeah. And he's a playmaker in the maybe not to the Stephen Curry level, but like when he doesn't have the ball, just his gravity is part of his playmaking because you have to guard him no matter what.
I think they need a true defiant leader too. I think every team, the number 1 don't have to be the leader, but I think they need somebody who can lead but also perform on the court because. You know, it's one thing for Al Horford to be a leader, but you can't look at Al Horford in the bright spots. It's one thing for Marcus Smart to be the heart and soul of the team, but in Game 6, I didn't like that Marcus Smart was taking the fadeaway 3 with the season on the line. I thought that was.
It's always Marcus Smart. He's the one to take every big shot.
That's the defense I wanted to live with Marcus Smart.
That was my
shot.
call.
But that's a problem. As an on offense, I don't want to do what the defense is living with. I want to make the defense pay.
Yeah. No, you do.
And
they was kind of relying on that Al Horford. Well, I mean, he was always open though. There was the person that they was going to give up
for that series to not look good.
Al Horford was shooting it so badly that they were willing to give him no shots.
Did he say he was a sharpshooter, Mike?
And
they're gonna keep playing that clip.
They need somebody who can be the leader and also be one of the closers.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's hard for Jalen Brown to be looked at as a leader with 8 turnovers. And let me not go too because he is a leader. Don't get me wrong, but it's clear that him and Jason Tatum are super laid back and they're probably going to lead by example more so than being that voice. And I think it would be nice to put Tatum with somebody like a Dame who going to come in and
He gonna bring the energy every game
and be willing to lead on the floor and off the floor, and also be a guy that say, shit, it's fall on us and end it with us. They just don't have that.
They don't have that killer instinct. They don't have that like
they
you
also
said,
don't
that
have
dog.
no hierarchy. Because I feel like Tatum and Jalen
yeah,
Brown
I like
so
that.
young that they kind of just fall back and like we gonna listen to what Marcus say, or we gonna let Al. They need somebody who can. The one of them has to be there, and they just don't seem like those guys. From what I see, they may gonna turn into it, but from what I see, it always, like we said, Marcus Smart is that voice and that guy, and it sometimes it's hard when he's not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selfish. I just want to see players get moved. I think it's fun. I want to see Jalen Brown in another opportunity. I would like to see Damian Lillard in another opportunity.
It's kind of like the Bam situation. Bam ain't necessarily the most vocal, but he got Jimmy, who's the best player.
Yeah,
So it's like
they complement each other very well. I think they bring those who you could definitely tell they bring out like the best for each other.
Yeah, I mean, they just hold each other accountable. Bam don't do nothing but preach about. Well, Jimmy always preaches about Bam just regardless, but Bam always talks about how much of like Jimmy expects so much out of him. It's hard to let Jimmy Butler down like that because Jimmy Butler is such a competitor. He could tell when he sees it in somebody else, and for him to be like, Bam, you're tweaking out here or just whatever, he takes that to heart. It's in a positive way too. So I think they're just like them together, just not even on the court. I think just off the court and in the locker room is just like a really good bright spot to have, especially for the Heat culture that they have.
Yeah, it's hard for me to put it into words because you don't have to be the best player to be the leader, but you definitely want your best player to be able to have that voice to say, "Nah, I'm taking this shot."
Yeah, no, you're right, because I feel like every team needs that guy at the end of the game where they know that everyone on the court feels comfortable with them having the ball. And it seems like with the Celtics, it's kind of like Tatum, your turn, Jalen Brown, your turn type shit. It seems like they do need that.
Or that's what
guy.
it should be, but I feel like if Marcus Smart take it, neither one of them has the
chance to go get the ball.
No, to feel like they can go to Marcus Smart and say, "I got to get that last shot."
Oh yeah,
like we got to make sure I'm getting that last shot. Because like if something like that happened, I think Dame he ain't finna throw his teammate on the bus, but I think Dame is gonna let it be known.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think about like the leaders from just like over the past years. Obviously, we just had Golden State, Draymond.
We heard the story of LeBron in Chicago. David Blatt drew up a play, JR. Hey, no, I'm gonna take the shot. Like, sometimes you gotta have that audacity, that leadership to say we gonna die and live with me taking a shot, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing because we know what it is. It's just that's what it's gonna be.
It's failed one time in particular.
Which time?
In the non-MJ year, when Scottie Pippen was mad that Tony Kukoc got called.
But Kukoc hit the shot.
Kukoc hit the shot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony.
Kukoc hit the shot. And we see now.
I will say though, when it comes to the Jalen Brown potential trade stuff, if it's not Dame, I'm not doing it. I would rather just bring him back and figure the rest out later down the line.
That's like the most prized piece out there right now.
There's nothing else that makes me excited to trade Jalen Brown for, even if that means that next season we make another conference finals and lose again. Because at this point, I think there's 4 of those.
And I think, honestly, I just think the Celtics in general, like Tatum and Brown, that duo, they've just experienced so much success at such a young age that, like, you don't realize.
10th all-time scoring and playoff points. Like 25.
Yeah, I know. He's 25
That's
years
so
old.
Crazy, bro.
A lot of guys at 25 years old would have never touched the floors that these guys have touched already.
That's no. That is a crazy ass stat, bro. I cannot. That's hard to wrap my head around because I don't see a world, and at least in the next 5-10 years, where the Celtics don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna keep adding to that. Is he gonna be the all-time playoff leading scorer by the end of his career?
He should be, unless.
Is that well? Bron is definitely.
Bron
did the same shit. Where
man's been going to game 7s and the playoff run since a rookie.
Yeah, facts.
That's why I'm kind of with Mills and biting that bullet on him because this team is really talented. Yeah. Obviously the ins and outs of it, like all the role players might still be there, but this team has a chance. They literally have shown they can get to the conference finals countless times, and then obviously they can get to the finals too. So
yeah, and then that's that world where next year to get over the hump and all of this conversation was pointless.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, as good as they are and all the experience that they got, they're still not the best versions of themselves at all. No. They're still growing. Jalen Brown has a lot of areas he can still work on, and He really can't. I mean, like,
Oh
in
my
all
God.
honesty, like,
LeBron has 8,000 playoff points, by the way.
mhm.
8,000.
How much does Tatum have?
Tatum is sitting at 2,200.
Holy shit.
So he got
Can he-
4 times what he's got right now.
Yeah,
Listen, LeBron has 8,000. Guess how much Michael Jordan has, who's second?
6,000.
A little less than 6,000.
Holy
Bron has 2,000 more points in the playoffs than anybody else in history.
That's wild.
That is
But LeBron's
crazy.
also done the same thing where he's going to multiple game sevens.
Multiple game sevens. I mean, won the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference a million
Yeah.
years in a row. But I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike, but that's just a crazy stat.
Also, I was also thinking too, if I'm Dame and I kind of see, if this is all hypothetical, but I might want to, if I'm a player like Dame in that caliber, I might want to go out east. You know, it does seem like there's still obviously really talented players, but shit, it look a little bit more open than the West do a little bit.
You know, the two teams I would love to see Dame on is Milwaukee or either Boston.
I think everything is open. Honestly, I don't look at the Western Conference, even though the Denver Nuggets have dominated. I don't see them as like this unbeatable team like the Warriors of past were. I think they are a beatable team, which is they're great. But I think
How many
both conferences
competitors
kind of.
out would you say? Because obviously it kind of trickles down to like a couple, but just like off boat, looking at some teams, I would think that the West probably looks deeper than the East in terms of like that type.
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing.
Y'all just
yeah.
had a 7th
That
seed
part's
in the conference finals.
Because
Yeah.
I mean,
So, like-
still say that the Clippers do come back. Still got to worry about them.
The Lakers. The Lakers were in the conference finals and they were 7th seed.
So is the Miami Heat.
I know. That's why. That's true. But that's
Nobody saw the Miami Heat as a contender before the series, before the
Yeah.
playoffs. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was 3 contenders out east. It was Miami. I mean, it was Milwaukee. It was Boston. It was Philly. That was it. And here we are in the finals with a team that nobody really thought there was a chance, which is cool. Out west, I mean, it was Denver,
Phoenix.
a healthy
Um,
Lakers team.
Yeah.
You get kind of got them. Yeah, the Clippers probably a lot of
Yeah.
people are trying to write in.
I have fucked with the Clippers.
The Warrior.
Oh yeah, the Warriors were
There's
still on
some
people's
people.
radar.
Some people believe the
still voting
Warriors.
for Warriors, but
I did
again,
not.
they're still gonna. They're a year older. They're gonna be back.
Yeah, it was him. He's the one that believed in which is fine because they just came off a championship. Can't be mad at you for that. Even though the sample size said that they weren't going to do it. But the sample size also said the Miami Heat weren't going to do it. So I don't know.
If you're Portland, would you take Ja Morant?
Yeah, but if
I would
I'm
think-
the Grizzlies, I would just rather have Ja pointing guns at Instagram and potentially coming
I
back.
was gonna say they ain't
They're
not
making
gonna be
a trade.
doing
I
that.
feel like youthfully they should just keep what they have going on. They have a lot of guys within the same timeline.
At some
Third
point,
youngest team in ball.
at some point they gonna get concerned with that shit.
I think it's. I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm gonna assume that the Ja Morant gun on Instagram stuff is over. It was viral on Twitter yesterday. He unfollowed his homie that was like the catalyst
Was
of
it
all
that
of
one?
this.
Was it
Yeah.
that one account that
yeah, that
between?
one
Yeah,
account.
the one that
know.
Markel
Oh, that
blocked.
one? No, it wasn't that one. But that was hilarious.
No, that's why I seen it.
Oh, that's you
Yeah, that's
saw
what I
that?
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
They said Markel Fultz was following the Drainers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
It said Markel Fultz is now blocked.
No, yeah, that's the most federal or Twitter account there is.
I don't even know how they find all that stuff.
Ja Morant just unfollowed JJ Redick.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which is crazy because JJ,
JJ
was
was
defending
defending him.
Ja.
Yeah,
Who just unfollowed? Okay, I'm going to the account. God damn it! Somebody prominent just unfollowed somebody else that was prominent.
There's
I'm
a
like,
lot
oh,
of good
shit.
accounts, and not even just for basketball. There's a lot of good accounts that I be seeing. Like, first of all, that remind me
What is
tweet,
the
and then
name
it's
of
a,
the account? I didn't even know.
Just type in like Markel and I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
y'all have you ever seen that tweet? It's just like remind me of this tweet in 6 hours or some shit.
no.
Y'all never seen it? It's just like a botted account, but people be tagging it like remind me of this in 8 hours, and it'd be like I'm finna go to the fucking gas station with no gas. It's just like some shit you come back to.
Mike, your ass hilarious.
I just be talking.
Hey, ain't nothing
At
wrong
least
with
you're
that.
aware of it.
But yeah, I at some point the Grizzlies might get a little tired of that, man. Dame in Milwaukee, how does that happen?
I don't think it
Uh,
does. Just because
I think
Ja is so good at what he does that he's the type of player that you get 5 chances to because he's that talented.
Very
Yeah.
true.
And
I
just
forgot
think
that
that's the-
Milwaukee gave up all their draft picks for Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was gonna say it's obviously Chris.
I like
Middleton
this D
last
Mills.
year of his deal.
He getting more and more like okay with Dame being gone. Back then, he was talking about it wasn't none of that.
Well,
Zion Williamson is now following Kyra Lewis Jr. Motherfucker, y'all been on the same
Y'all been on
roster
the
for
same
2
team.
years. The Pelicans are now following. Oh, he must just got a new account or something. The Pelicans just followed him too.
Oh. Yeah, he must have. Did he just make? No, he couldn't have just made Twitter.
I don't know.
I'm going to his account and see.
That's gonna be wild. If I see a motherfucker like that, or just like the motherfucker that's like in his 20s and his just say that he made it in 2023, that's wild.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell unfollowed Ja. That's the one I was thinking.
Oh
of.
yeah.
DeJounte Murray just unfollowed Ja. What's going on behind the scenes? Why they just don't fuck with Ja no more?
They're tired of seeing that shit on his story.
No, I don't know. That is kind of weird. If prominent NBA players unfollowing you, that just seems like some shit going on that we don't know.
Yeah. And we'll never know, which is fine.
Yeah.
They investigated him. He's like, y'all ain't saying nothing when DeJounte had them guns.
That's really what it is. He out there snitching.
DeJounte like, yo, I ain't did shit.
We don't fuck with dude.
That's hilarious.
That'd be crazy if people was putting out the NBA players under the bus.
I also keep seeing people that's questioning, like, who got the time to be checking everybody's Instagram and Twitter follows? Bro, it's a code. They coded it. This is not a single person that's looking at, Ja Morant's following every single day. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is engineering.
Yeah.
You create a bot that does it, and the bot tweets it out too. This is where we at in 2023, baby. That's what it's about.
What if y'all are on those bots? Y'all think y'all are on the bots, or is it just NBA players?
No.
So like,
it
if you
says
unfollowed me,
when Shams followed me, they tweeted it.
oh,
Yeah, they tweeted it. It's not about us. It's about the big names.
yeah,
Like when Isaiah Thomas followed you, that might have been able to be tweeted because if he was active probably. But like Isaiah Thomas is an NBA player. They don't care about us. They care about the actual top talent type stuff. So
Shout out to IT, man.
shout out to you.
Shout out to IT.
Real one.
A lot of people love that interview.
Wish he got aggregated more. I won't lie. I wish people took the clips and tweeted out the clips and stuff. It is
yeah,
what
for
it is.
sure.
Isaac doing a good job of it, making TikToks though, so it'll get out.
yeah. That one he posted yesterday that like 500,000 views in
Yep.
12 hours.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
it's the king of the short, Isaac Gutierrez.
Shout out
Is
to
that full government?
Shout out
What's
to
his
Mr. Gutierrez.
Yeah.
That might get him a job. You never know, Mike.
He got it.
Somebody might look him.
Oh man.
Or do you not want him to be?
No, you're right. No, you're right. I snoozed.
Every time I watch Isaac,
He's just doing it because he likes it. He just likes
watch
us.
Isaac podcast. I think of you. His co-host and you look just alike.
We
Who,
look
Donovan?
alike?
That's his name.
Yeah, I think it's
y'all
Donovan.
look alike.
Oh, maybe
never
we'll
seen
meet
him?
one day. No.
Oh yeah,
He don't be fucking with people that fuck with him.
that's crazy.
I try to show love to people that show love to me.
Man.
I can't watch every Deep 3 podcast, but I at least see the TikToks because
Right,
they everywhere and the shorts. But Mike don't be tuned in.
I don't go on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or I don't listen to
I
podcasts as well.
don't post, but every time I go on TikTok, it'd be like, yeah, you just got 500.
All the
engagements
TikToks I
today.
see, they're just on Instagram.
Bro, the Deep 3, if you look at their YouTube shorts numbers, they are fucking bodying it.
Yeah.
Or like none of their recent shorts have hit less than. Hold on. Turn that down, gang. I ain't
What
trying to
the
hear that
fuck?
man voice. That man voice annoying.
For real.
Um,
Why is he on my timeline?
They get like 500,000
I thought I
views per
unfollowed
short
him.
right now. They're killing the game. Shout out to them.
Wow.
They about to catch us on subscribers.
Damn.
Yeah, they're killing it.
But is they gonna catch us on long form content? Oh, okay.
That's the real
Oh, okay.
difficult
I'm
part
just
for
talking shit.
the people that's doing like the TikTok and shorts and stuff is how do you get those people to care about the long form? And it takes a long time. But
Yeah, I be seeing that too. Whenever I see an account that gets a lot of views in their shorts, but then you go to their long form, they're getting like 3,000 views.
it's tough to convince people to watch long form content. That's just the reality.
That's why I feel like everybody do what they want to do, but I feel like if you just build up your long form content audience first and then you work on shorts,
But like think about it like this.
or
Okay,
should you do both?
let's say I get 500,000 views on a short. If I could convince 5% of those people to watch the long form, that's a successful thing. If we could just do that and just like get our conversion rate at 5% every time, we gonna build an audience just like that. If you look at the Deep 3, that's exactly where it works because they were getting really good views before that, and then their podcasts were getting like 2,000 to 3,000, and then now they get like 20,000 per
Oh, wow.
podcast. So
Yeah,
it's a gradual thing. It's worth it. Like that's what I'm realizing 2 years into shorts and shit. Just fucking do it at the end of the day. It's gonna be beneficial, even if it is just for the subscriber number. Because at the end of the day, when you selling ass to these brands, they still in 2018 where they look at the subscriber number before they look at the views. So if I got 500,000 subscribers, I'm selling an ad at somebody that's got 500,000 subscribers versus somebody that don't get a ton of views. So
Yeah, that's the way I thought about
some
it.
game for y'all at home that's trying to do this creator shit. Do the shorts and TikToks. It's worth it.
Yeah, because
Say less. I'm finna dive in.
that's why I was like that. I feel like that's actually very good, just because you get more eyes. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the whole point, is you get eyes, because like you said, one of those people, at least one, is gonna come over there and tune in.
I mean, reality is it's work for us. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a prime example of that. Where our podcast episodes were getting like 30 to 40,000 once we transferred from HOH to our official channel. We hired Isaac on. Isaac made our TikTok account. Well, I don't know if he made it, but he took over the Instagram account. And now, or TikTok and shorts
account.
and shit. There are people that might not have known this show existed, but then saw a TikTok and then subscribed and now watch the long form content. So it's like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, a lot of the players say they seen us on TikTok.
For sure. Right.
Zach
Levine said he saw some of our TikToks. Simple
Or
as
like
that.
what Kat said, it was broken on a
That
podcast.
Yeah.
And that was
That-
probably because of that TikTok.
That podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
But I highly doubt he was watching the podcast.
he said that?
Yeah, remember he had said that Shams
Nah, you
broke
fucking
that
up
news.
my joke.
Oh,
Pretending.
he did. He really did.
He was like, he really did.
Cat, come on to Through the Wire, man. We'll make it worth your while, man. For sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
Cat, bring your ass, man. Bring your ass. You'll have a wonderful time.
All those youthful stars, man. HOH, reach out, man.
Or Through the Wire, reach out.
Yeah, this is Through the Wire reaching out.
Because I'm after last night, I'm plugged up with everybody. I'm plugged up with everybody.
What's last
I could
night?
second that.
I got a DM.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Now,
Okay.
if he end up on the show, that's a Kenny Beecham get.
for real,
Can't tell you shit.
Can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit
I'll
just
take it.
because he messaged me.
I'm taking credit for the Shams one.
Absolutely. I'll take credit for IT because I just
There you go.
replied to him.
I'll reply first, though.
Uh-oh.
But I ratioed him. He might not even seen your
Hey,
reply.
when y'all gonna get somebody on the pod? And no, we don't want your deal.
Oh, you know who I was thinking about? If I could have like a dream guest on the pod, because people be asking me, it'll be Lil Wayne.
Oh my god! But funny enough, Lil Wayne, do shit. He be
yeah,
doing
he
shit.
talk about.
He was on Stephen A's World.
Yeah, I love.
What else is he on during the NCAA
Oh.
Women's Finals? He
yeah.
was smoking
He
weed
was
on
smoking
ESPN.
shit. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get how you is. I don't blame you.
Shout out to Sue
That
Bird.
was so funny, bro.
Yeah, we can. At this point, I feel like it's nobody we can't get if we're
Yeah.
persistent and we do it the right way.
Yeah, it's just about being persistent.
Yeah,
But
getting
yeah,
Wayne on a Zoom call would be fucking amazing.
I need y'all two on the ends to bring somebody.
He gonna bring in
because I
Keith
just
Lee.
want to see. It's just funny. It
He
would
gonna
just
bring,
be funny.
it's
to
gonna be
like,
somebody from their world. It's gonna be fucking Wiz Khalifa or Lil Wayne and Keith Lee or the other food review guy that be in this
I
car.
got hella niggas at the gym that be asking me that.
I would just love to be on here, and Chris Middleton is up here off the courtesy of Darrick. Like, that would
Tobias
just
Harris
be-
up here. Cause
That
he,
would that would
he
be
came up here because he heard all the slander. He got to
Yeah.
set it straight.
You gotta set it straight. But you know, Darrick's relationship with Tobias Harris is like a roller coaster. Some days he's the second best player on the 76ers behind Joel, but above Ben Simmons. And some days he's ass. Like it's no in between for Darrick.
Hey, gotta play to your. Gotta be consistent.
But do you hold that for everybody though?
No, because he didn't say Al Horford been ass. Because Al Horford was ass.
I didn't have nothing to say about Al Horford.
I see.
I was more so on Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
That's just an unfortunate thing. Tobias Harris, when he was playing like ass, he was a second option. So you got to get viewed as a second option.
Yeah.
Dude, is that how it go? I am always intrigued on how people's basketball minds work. That's just like the shit we was talking about with like Combo's tweet. I'm intrigued to know like how do people get their comparisons? Do you literally just look at somebody's height? Do you not look
And
at
body
their
type.
game?
Height and body type.
Yeah, like is that because that's not a comparison.
Oh wait, big news just dropped. Big news. Bob Myers, 2-time executive of the year and architect of the 4 NBA
Resigned.
championship, is stepping down
Damn.
as the franchise president and general
Change is
manager.
coming?
It's just time, said Bob Myers.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's rumored for some time,
Yeah.
Where's he
but
gonna
for it
go?
to be official, shit. I heard from a birdie, no break. I don't have no sources. Oh, you know what? Not true, because the Wizards already hired. They do that. The Wizards were gonna do the same thing that Tim Connolly just got, which was, hey, take control of our team, and we give you a percentage in the business. You own 3% of the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Washington Wizards were trying to do that for Bob Myers, but they went another route, which I'm excited about. Bob Myers is the type of dude that'll probably get another job immediately. And there's a lot of like owners that would fire their general manager right fucking now to get Bob Myers in there. If the Reinsdorf family said we firing AK and Mark Eversley to get Bob Myers and his team, give me that.
You ain't say that when Mark was on that plane with us.
I ain't say shit. But he got to know he ain't done shit compared to no Bob Myers. Bob Myers is one of the kings of this game.
Yeah, I mean, now it just means whoever comes in with the Warriors, they got some decisions.
They got Draymond's decision. They got Klay Thompson's extension decision. They got to figure out what the hell happened.
I guess Bob Myers said they don't want to deal with that shit.
No, that's why it's perfect timing because whoever comes in next don't have that relationship.
Right.
Bob Myers will feel bad, you know, like, man, Draymond is my boy. He probably was at his wedding or his kids. His next dude, like, shit. Draymond financially just don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
These numbers ain't mathing right now.
Yeah, so I think that's a good move. Other big news, Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse is
the official head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. Thoughts and opinions, emotions, and feelings behind that?
I thought that was a good coach, good hiring, a guy that solidified himself as a championship coach, and I think that's the type of shit that they need. Just very interested. I don't really view this team as like I know Doc Rivers had his coaching issues. It's more so the James Harden thing. Still very interested to see how that goes. Then you can really gauge and see how this team looks because offensively they do need that like second perimeter threat. I don't really know how much Tyrese Maxey is going to be that guy for y'all. So it's going to be a very tough offseason for them.
Yeah, it was surprising, to be honest with you, because I think out of all the jobs that were available as far as like the top end talents between the Suns and the Bucks, who we got to talk about Adrian Griffin too, that the 76ers is one of those jobs that I would personally be iffy about, mostly because we don't know what's going to happen with James. And if James is gone and things don't go well in a year and a half, it might be Joel Embiid's time.
Yeah.
Also, philosophy-wise, Nick Nurse like to play them boys. And Joel Embiid, if we get 40 minutes a game from Joel Embiid, especially considering they don't have a backup center right now, Nick Nurse is definitely one of the best guys on the market, so that's a plus. But his philosophy might have to change a little bit because for the entirety of Nick Nurse's coaching career, he's had these big-ass wings that defend well, and they won a championship that way, and then last year they missed the playoffs completely. Now he going into a situation where you got Joel Embiid, and then the rest is like average to below average defenders, and they're all small as shit. So I'm excited to see what he decides to do, if he's going to change his philosophy, or is the 76ers going to reformulate their team to fit what he kind of wants and needs. So I don't know.
That also kind of confirms to me I think James Harden's gone. If James Harden was coming back, they would have got Mike D'Antoni.
That was yeah.
I like it though. I think it's more so I like his way to adapt. And I think that I've seen that just kind of like in playoff scenarios and stuff where he changes stuff up. And like I feel like he's one of the people that can do that on the fly. So I would just kind of liked him. But again, I just like his ability to adapt. And I think he will probably end up changing his philosophy because I think he kind of rolls like what he has to work with. You know, obviously they kind of bought into it, but he was playing 48 those guys so long because it's like that was what they did. Yeah. It had no option, but he wanted to keep dudes that were, unless you were Freddie or maybe Gary Trent, you were 6'8" and above up there. And it's just like I felt like he just always went with that bend or break approach with at least that philosophy. But when it came down to it, he's willing to change it or go zone or do something different that I think a lot of coaches wouldn't.
Can I rant a little bit?
Rant.
Nepotism is a real thing everywhere, basically, in the music industry, in sports, everywhere. There's no place that it's bigger, and I might make a hint of hoops video about this, than in the fucking front office of these places. Every single solid general manager from the 1990s and the early 2000s, son, now has a job in the front office. And the reason I'm saying that right now is, and I'm reading this article from Woj about this departure. With Myers' departure, the Warriors owner Joe Lacob is expecting to see more prominent role from his son, Kirk, the executive vice president of basketball operations. I can't say Kirk is good or bad at his job. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is just another example of just nepotism, because I own this team. My son, he say he like basketball a little bit, so let me get him a job doing one of the hardest jobs in all of fucking sports. That goes from the Colangelo family, because Jerry Colangelo got Brian Colangelo a job, and then Brian Colangelo ended up fucking everything up. This happens time and time again when these owners give their people these jobs. And again, I can't say it's right or wrong, but I'm sure there's good situations and bad situations. But it happens way too fucking often. People always think about like, Giannis Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Thanasis is only in the league because of nepotism. That might be true, but that's the base level compared to what these front office people do. It feel like every single team got somebody's son running the show. Somebody's son is in there just doing some other job.
The only type of like positive way you really coming off of that is just like that man has been around basketball his whole life.
Right.
You know, like he damn near as he's growing up, he learned the fucking ins and outs. It don't matter if he was 5 or 20.
If so, though, he would probably have another role that he would grow up into.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eric Spoelstra. He started off as a video coordinator, and then you level up. So if your son been around a game, he would probably give him an entry level, and he could just work his way up. But to go from nothing,
I'm saying that's the only like I feel like situation because it's.
But no,
like
if that's the situation, why would he not have a previous job already in a system?
Yeah.
If I've been around a game my entire life, wouldn't you put me in some type of position immediately, or like as soon as I became a grown adult? Wouldn't I get some little job to show that I know something? Because in any other workspace, that's just not really any. Like even when a player get drafted, how many players get drafted and it's just like here's the keys to the offense. It's like no, you got to work up to get shit. And that's what he was saying with IT in the interview. I think this is a problem in basketball, and to the side of what KB was talking about, but just the lack of basketball people. Like I don't know his son. I don't know what he's basketball, but like there's so many people who've been in this game as players, coaches, assistants, whatever. And we have a lot of positions that are filled with people I've never heard of. And it's just like, oh, he's a lawyer or like.
You got a degree.
Like,
I got a bunch of examples if y'all want to hear them.
Let's
in Atlanta, Nick Ressler, the 27-year-old son of the owner, Tony Ressler, has served as the director of basketball operations for the last 2 years. And that was a power struggle, and that has something to do with the Travis Slank shit.
And now they have my guy, Landry Fields, right?
Yep.
But I can only imagine that. Imagine working there, and you know that the person above you is the son. It's like you're going to lose that argument 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
They don't even have to respect you.
Monty McNair, before the draft lottery in late May, Vivek parachuted his pop singing daughter into the assistant general manager job for the G League team.
Damn.
Y'all know, I had no idea Vivek's daughter has a spot. Again, I can't say these people are bad at their jobs, good at their jobs, but it's something that happens time and time again. Obviously, the Buss family for the Lakers is something that happens a ton. Jeannie Buss's brother, Jesse, is matriculated through the ranks of the organization where he now operates as an assistant general manager directly below Rob Pelinka in the Lakers masterhead. This goes on, and I already mentioned the Colangelo family. This just happens time and time again.
It's unfortunate, but unless it's like it's gonna kind of stay like that.
And for sure,
It's
because these are
gonna
the
stay like
owners. These are the top 0.00% of billionaires. You know what I'm saying? And I think it really sucks because there are a lot of people that are going to school for sports management with the idea that, oh, I'm a one day work in the front office and boom, boom, boom. And then somebody who got zero experience or no schooling or whatever gets the job just because my dad is really fucking rich.
And I think it's kind of like when you're like the head coach of a team, the GM is like the guy or like the person that's constructing your roster and like the person who you're probably having a lot of conversations with. Why would you want to bring in someone who has no experience to work with me? Like I feel like that's kind of like that hinders me now.
Yeah.
I have to teach him shit and like I don't know.
Rest in peace, Flip Saunders. But even Ryan Saunders being a head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves a couple years ago, kind of nepotism. We saw that he wasn't built for the head coaching job, and maybe he gets another one down the line.
He might get a ring.
I just don't remember all the way. Was he doing any assisting though?
Oh yeah, no, he had been a long-term assistant.
Yeah, he had at least some like prior experience.
Exactly,
and
you see that a lot. You see a lot of head coaches. Like, he's on Denver's assistant coaching staff.
They got a lot of people over there. Rick Adelman's son,
is over there as well, which is the.
Did you know Popeye Jones's son plays in the NHL?
No, I didn't know that at all.
I didn't either.
When'd you learn that?
Watching the Nuggets game, and not in the conference finals, but the second round against the Suns. They talked about it. Like, oh shit, Popeye Jones. That means there's a brother in the NHL that we ain't even supporting. That's crazy.
Yeah, might have to go get his son.
Do you want to do some finals preview?
Let's do it.
NBA finals start on Thursday.
More basketball people in the league. That sounds stupid. It's like saying more doctors in the hospital.
Imagine if doctors had nepotism. where you don't have to go to school.
It'll be a lot of left ankles on your right legs.
Seth Jones is the son of Popeye Jones, 28-year-old. We bogus. He actually played for the Blackhawks for a little bit. We had no idea.
I've sat and watched maybe 2 Blackhawks games.
And he was a 4th overall pick. No, he nice. He nice with it. All right. Hey, this if you're gonna watch the Blackhawks, I know they've been through a lot of controversy in the last couple of years. We going to a Blackhawks game this year. They got the 1st overall pick, and the dude that's coming in, it's like they said he's the NHL equivalent to fucking LeBron James when he came out of high school.
Damn.
He's gonna be in Chicago now. Will he live up to the hype? Only
I
one
don't
would
even know. Who
know.
the fuck is still on the Blackhawks roster?
Hey,
They still got Patrick King.
no.
Okay, that's how far.
They traded most of the OGs.
They
So they don't got
traded
what's his
Kane
name?
to the-
Taves. They don't got him no more.
Jonathan Taves. No, he's old as shit. He might have retired, bro.
Is
Them
Crawford
motherfuckers
still
out
there?
here-
I would assume not. He was old.
Yeah.
I couldn't name you nobody on the roster right now. I think didn't Patrick Kane get traded to New York? He was a Ranger. Oh, the Stanley Cup is going on soon. It's the time to jump in. Right at the end of it.
I think it's crazy how much hockey players are like paid compared to like other sports.
Pennies, bro.
Yeah, like they
real?
get
Pennies.
their ass beat daily.
And because of their cap, notes. You know how the Warriors have been together for fucking 9 years.
Yeah.
Where like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, you can't do that in the NHL. Every team has like a fucking 2 to 3 year window, and then you got to trade one of your best players and hope that it works out.
Damn.
Like I remember when I did watch hockey is when the Blackhawks were really good because Suzanne is a white woman and she loved Patrick Kane, so I was watching some hockey back there. They had a dude named Panarin. Antti Panarin or whatever. He was a fucking stud. He spent his first couple years here in Chicago, and we had to trade him away because the cap. And we wanted to keep Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves and stuff. And he went on to be like that, like he's that dude right now still.
Damn.
But yeah,
That's crazy that their cap is that bad.
it is.
NHL talk for today.
But maybe that's something we should, because I said I like player movement. That's the pinnacle of player movement right there. You got to trade one of your 23-year-old young stars because we want to keep the old core together.
I couldn't imagine the NBA buying into, like, imagine if the NBA had those rules.
Jonathan
That would be
Taves is still on the
ridiculous.
team, by the way.
he is.
Yeah, old as shit.
How old is he? Does he have his age right there?
1988. What is that?
He's got to be like 37.
Oh no, both of our math is fucked up.
He's in
I
his
mean,
30s.
35.
You said 88.
Yeah, I'm. It says 35.
98, 2008, 18.
Oh, because I mean, what I did is I was born 97, so I just added from what my age is.
The NBA Finals preview, baby.
No, we got to talk about Griffin going to the Bucks.
Oh yes, Adrian Griffin got hired by the Bucks, which is cool to see. A guy that's been like a great assistant for the past decade or so get an opportunity to be the head coach.
He used to be around your way, Mike. I done seen him at OPRF a few times. Just one of his sons went there.
Did he used to pull up to Hinsdale South
He might have.
to watch basketball games? Am I tripping?
He might have. One of his sons went to OPRF.
Okay. Either way,
See, I didn't know all that.
he is now a head coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
First time.
First time head coach. Part of that was because Giannis said he really liked them. They did what Giannis wanted because that's how you keep your stars around. If people were asking me like, what can we expect from it? It's impossible to really know with a first-time head coach. But I will say, if you look at every single one of his stops, he's been an assistant coach on the top defensive teams in basketball. I don't know if that's necessarily his philosophy, but if it's following him across 8 of the 10 years, he's been an assistant on the top 5 defense.
Not coincidental.
It's probably not coincidental.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what that looks like. But that's all I can really say,
Yeah, it's hard to predict new coaches and new situations. Just happy to see it. And if Giannis liked him, then shit, I like him too.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited to see what happens with the staff because Charles Lee been one of the most sought after coaches from Milwaukee and a Budenholzer tree. So I want to know if he's going to stay or if he's going to go get him a job now. And we got a couple more spots open. Phoenix is open. Who else?
Detroit is still open, but
Detroit.
everybody thinks that Kevin Ollie has that job.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin Ollie, who's a cousin of ours.
Oh.
He's like Jermaine's cousin.
Oh, like you being dead ass.
I'm being so serious.
Oh.
Y'all
Shout out,
got- Y'all
Cuz.
got to put in the door.
I heard Nuki say that, and my dad said this like 3 days ago.
Rest in peace, Uncle Nuke.
So it's shout
All
out
right.
to Kevin Ollie.
Well, we might have to show up to a Pistons game this season.
Shout out to Kevin
Ooh.
Ollie, Motorcade.
Who did he was an OTE coach, correct?
UConn.
and went to UConn.
No, he
coached
coached
UConn, but he also coached OTE, or did he coach G League Ignite? One of the two. It was
OTE.
And they have the 5th overall pick.
Yeah.
Is he gonna draft one of the Thompson twins?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. He might get Cam Whitmore. So I don't know, but maybe.
Yes, it's possible.
Maybe.
He's not even officially there, but Adrian
It's just
Griffin.
funny to see the Piston fans going to berserk too.
Yeah.
It ain't even been confirmed yet.
I've been seeing a lot of conversation about the Adrian Griffin signing because of the off-court stuff that he had to deal with a couple years ago, where one of his ex-wife accused him of some domestic violence stuff. So I'm interested to see what the Bucks. I don't think you can ignore that. Obviously, it's. I was reading articles about it like 2 days or so ago, and it was like he got accused, he denied it. He even sued his ex-wife for defamation because he believes that she's trying to end his career. Mm-hmm. His daughter, who shares the mother with the person that accused him, said that was all a lie. So it's so hard when these situations. So I don't know exactly what the Bucks are gonna do.
That's why that type of shit is there's a place for that type of shit to get handled.
Uh-huh.
And that's why to me it's always mind blowing when Twitter erupts on certain things that they think that they know shit about, because that's such a touchy situation that we don't really know anything about. Obviously, nobody likes or supports that type of stuff. But because we don't know the truth or what really is going on, there has to be a hesitancy to speak on something that we don't really know about.
I think it's important for us to acknowledge it, but know that we're a basketball show.
Yeah. We're not detectives or investigators.
Yeah, I can't speak on shit I don't know. But I do see that on Twitter. Anytime somebody's about to get a job, they be talking about a bunch of shit that's like speculated shit. Now, if you're talking about some shit that's factual and has happened and you don't support it, I'm with you. It's a lot. I don't support a lot of bullshit my damn self. But if things aren't confirmed or facts, it's not really our job to go in there and investigate that shit, because what do I know?
Yeah.
NBA Finals?
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals, baby. Thursday night is when it starts in Denver. Denver gets home court advantage because the Boston Celtics lost. So that's interesting. Fun for them. They undefeated at home, and the Miami Heat have won every single first game on the road of this series.
Every single one.
So we'll see exactly the way it goes. These are the things I'm excited about.
How long has the Nuggets been out? What has it been, like
a week and a half?
Because the Lakers said we ain't going to show up at all. Not even.
Hey, we was in some of them games. We just lost them all.
Yeah. You were in all of those games, I would say. Right? All 4.
Maybe some got away from us in the last couple minutes, but we was in them. It wasn't no blowout.
As good as your last game.
Would you rather? This is a conversation. Would you rather have the rest of 11-ish days, or would you rather be the Miami Heat who just played basketball 4 days ago or 3 days ago?
I'd rather be the Denver Nuggets chilling for these 11 days or whatever.
If I'm the Nuggets, I'd rather have been playing. If I'm the Heat, I'd rather have had the rest.
Should have just blown one of those games to the Lakers, so you could just get an extra game.
The Heat have older bodies. The Nuggets, I think they want to keep flowing.
Yeah.
They want to keep going. I think it just depends on the age of your team.
I would say that it is like a benefit that they are getting out those games, but like I said, I feel like they aren't as beat up as we be seeming to, or like you would think they are, because they've been running that zone a lot. Like I said, Jimmy Butler ain't had to tee up like he needed to. I feel like he's kind of saving himself a little bit for this final. He didn't know he was going to get there, but he kind of saving himself. Maybe it was after even 3-0. Because we've seen a lot of more of like his little down games, and he didn't really do as well. I won't say I got up, but
he did retweak his ankle in that Game 7, though. He did have a little moment where he tweaked it a little bit, but he played through it.
It wasn't the same as like Tatum's.
Yeah, when they replayed, I was like, oh, okay, that ain't nothing compared to Tatum.
Yeah, because who was on the call yesterday? Was it Reggie Miller?
Reggie Miller and Van
Reggie
Gundy.
Miller. He's like, yeah. I didn't even see the first tweet when he tweaked his ankle, but Reggie Miller had mentioned it. I looked over, and it was like a little ass grimace. I'm like,
Can
I
I
didn't even
say
know
I'm happy that we don't have to hear that booth of people for the rest of the season? Because you know what happened throughout the course of this in the beginning?
He was grimacing, though.
He was.
Van Gundy complained about everything.
Tyler Herro fit.
And I think that people got on his ass about his complaining, and the last couple games he didn't complain at all. But he was what happened to the game that I grew up and loved, about like the reviews, the foul, and all of that. And Reggie Miller say the same 6 sentences all game long. You know, it's the same words.
My favorite people about
I feel like his ass be saying that, bro.
Right, I feel great about the finals.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Van Gundy.
Mama, there goes that man. You gonna hear that at least 6 times this series.
They got the best like in-game stuff, but then TNT does have the best.
Absolutely.
Inside
the NBA, there's nothing that can ever compare to that.
That's I wish there was some way they could mix the two.
Hey, competing brands, man. Unfortunately, it'll never happen. But ESPN's like halftime show is non-existent. It's Jalen Rose saying some obvious shit, Stephen A. Smith being mad about something, and then 12 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
Where TNT actually give you shit.
Crazy.
Like, yeah, they nothing but commercials. But no, I'm excited about this commentary stuff.
Gabe Vincent had the ankle injury. You just want those guys to, you know what I mean, whenever you got a little injury, a little tweak, you want that rest. But
And Gabe Vincent didn't play a lot in that last game. He only played like 25 minutes.
I was so happy that they wore the black jerseys. I feel like they didn't wear the black jerseys this whole series except this game.
Do you remember their gold jerseys from like 2 years ago?
Yes.
I think I've vividly seen them.
Though,
they were like yellow, but they called it trophy
gold. It was like yellow with like the red.
I do not remember that.
Hold on, I got pictures.
Oh,
of
I
it.
do. Yes, I do. I do remember those. Yeah.
And I remember in the moment,
Those remind me
like,
of Pacers jerseys.
They look like Pacers.
Literally, Pacers.
I remember in the moment, I was like,
they're black.
These fucking suck. And then I look back on them like they was kind of hard. They was kind of hard. They might bring them back if they win because it's trophy gold. That's what it's supposed to be. Trophy gold.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler is corny in the best possible way. I love it. And again, Jimmy, big fan, obviously, in the best possible ways. Where y'all saw the clip that went not mega viral, but a little bit of viral. Well, Bam tried to give him the trophy, and he said,
"No,
I'm gonna hold the next one."
That's Miami Heat culture. Some of that shit come off cool, but some of that shit do come off poor.
Yeah, but like,
they have the jet booked to go to Denver,
which is such a non-story because you need to book your fucking flight. You just need to book a flight. You know that you have to do. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure when they played Game 6 in Boston, they didn't have a flight to Boston. Like they had already planned.
Well, they should have gotten one because at the end of the day, go hoop.
Yeah.
All that extra shit is sound cute and it's cool, but go hoop.
Yeah.
No matter what though, I don't know, something about Jimmy Butler, it just rubbed off on all the other players because that everybody competed. You know, I feel like you talk a lot about that leading by example. Like people would follow Jimmy Butler.
They do.
Sure. Yeah.
No, they do.
For sure.
No, we not up here criticizing them. I'm
You
just
remember
saying some of that shit cool and some of that shit be like, oh, here we go.
There was a team that had him on the roster when he was 27, and they had the opportunity to supermax him. And instead of supermaxing him, they traded him away to rebuild. And only seen the playoffs one time since then.
They still rebuild.
Still rebuilding. About to do another rebuild. But that was the first year of the supermax, if people don't remember. And the Rhinestone fans like, fuck no, we're not giving that much money to one singular player. Trade him away for Chris Dunn, please. And they did that. And here he is.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I'm buried in the league. They also got Larry Markin, who's an all-star now. But they traded him away.
I mean, he wouldn't have been an all-star with y'all.
Absolutely. I honestly, truly believe that.
Oh, for sure.
And I truly believe that
him,
if Jimmy Butler was here in Chicago, he'd still be a dog. But this level of dog, I feel like it's something that was developed throughout his last couple stops and ended up in Miami. Yeah.
The Philly, Minnesota, and now Miami Heat.
And I think he found the culture that fits his culture.
Exactly. Shout out to
Minnesota.
Dwayne Wade.
Catnam was too sensitive. He go to Philly. You know, Ben Simmons. Them they don't want to deal with that shit either. So they signed Tobias Harris. I love that clip of him.
Said Ben Simmons just kind of looked at me. I'm not gonna fight you, bro.
I love that clip of Jimmy in the tunnel saying Tobias Harris over me.
Yeah.
Like that. That shit, you feel that.
I know why he loved that clip.
Yeah, because he hates Tobias Harris.
But then you see how he playing. You like, how as an organization, do you choose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler, I love to hear him talk. He don't do a ton of interviews, but I love to hear him talk. Like when he was talking about when he got to Philly, they was in that film room watching film after a loss, and nobody said nothing. Yeah. He was like, "What the fuck? Where's the accountability?" And now, I mean, you see him on the bench. Fucking people, Max Strus would yell at Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the type of culture that Miami got.
I love that one clip of Jimmy telling Max Strus, "You got fucking blown by at the top,"
yeah.
And then he goes on the court and shows him where you just got blown by. Yeah. And I'm like, you need that shit.
He's also was telling Kyle Lowry, "Shoot the ball, shoot the ball."
Kyle Lowry's shoes look so fucking big on him, bro.
Don't let it as Adidas.
So fucking big.
He be getting down in them though.
Sometimes, not more likely he not.
I'm thinking about Aaron Gordon got to take that matchup, right?
Aaron Gordon's guarding Jimmy Butler
because they feel like
I want the Heat to let Jokic try to score to win. Take away the pass. We know that's what he.
Well, they might run some zones, so that's giving him the pass.
I trust Eric Spoelstra that he's gonna be like. He's going to experiment. He's going to take a game or two to see what's probably the better idea.
I do love the fact that we have like two polarizing different centers, like a defensive-minded center and Bam, Then you have an offensive juggernaut in Jokic. Like those two literally about to clash right now, and it's gonna be very fun to see how that plays out. I'm not saying Bam is gonna stop him,
for sure.
but it's just like
Two different types of
yeah. Then they gonna really challenge each other. I think Bam is gonna be probably the best defensive big Jokic is gonna win against.
Anthony Davis exists.
Oh, Anthony Davis, he did go against AD. True.
but Bam is more versatile.
Yes.
The more versatile defender than Anthony
Who guards
Davis.
Jamal Murray?
Jimmy. Or I think they might
probably-
start with like Caleb Martin. But
He
then
don't start.
oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's the real question because they eventually started Caleb Martin the last couple games of the series.
Well, because of
They took Kevin Love out completely.
Yeah.
But the Miami Heat are like if they
bro, timeout. You're right. I literally forgot. Where was Kevin Love at? Was
he didn't play. He did
Yeah,
not
he
play.
didn't
Was
play.
he on stage or anything? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was
No,
on
he was there.
stage.
I
He
don't
was
remember
there.
seeing him at all.
Yeah,
I
he-
saw him in the
I
celebration.
just that fast forgot my man's existence.
So the Miami Heat are a small team. If they do the Caleb Martin starting over Kevin Love, and the Nuggets are a really big team. Michael Porter Jr. 6'10", Aaron Gordon 6'8", size LeBron, and then Jokic is 7-footer.
But that didn't. I know it's a different team, but the Celtics is also pretty big.
Are they? They ran small a lot this series, where Al Horford was the sole center.
Yep. And Robert Williams backed him up.
Yeah.
And Tatum is your 4. Brown is your 3. And you have
The only they went against. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks are a tall team. They're a big team with Bam. Brooke and Giannis, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Chris
then
Middleton is tall as well.
the Knicks are a pretty big team too, with 7-foot Mitchell Robinson,
Julius
Julius Randle.
RJ.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I think that cut off because I think RJ is a smaller wing.
Yeah.
6'6".
But it feels like everybody outside of Jamal Murray on the other side is like a bigger player for their position.
No,
Yeah.
KCP.
Was he
Standard
6'5", 6'6"?
6'5", standard shooting guard.
Damn, my bad.
Jamal Murray is kind of bigger for a point guard.
He's like 6'4", right?
Yeah, he could definitely post up as well. So
They also play big too, the
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets too. So I'm interested to see. I'm sure we're gonna get to some point in this series where Kevin Love is back in the lineup. Not necessarily starting, but getting real minutes.
just because of like a rebounding
The size.
presence,
They just
yeah.
need the size. They just gonna need some size. And
With Cody Zeller.
please note, Cody Zeller's getting dogged by Jokic. In and out, bro.
I think they're gonna be that team that make Jokic work.
For sure.
They're
I
the
think
team
that's
that's
the-
gonna make him work.
That is the thing that's going to potentially be in the favor of the Miami Heat.
Because the
They're gonna
Miami
make
Heat
Jokic
definitely
work.
don't want a stagnant offense. They move it. He's gonna get switched on to Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna attack him constantly, like he did to
what
Robert
if
Williams.
Jokic's locking up after no.
That's good. I'm more so because I feel like Jimmy Butler. He's been so physically imposing on teams. It's just now Aaron Gordon can match that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just want to see how
I
that's
don't
going
know.
to
A
play out.
couple of y'all told me he get on that court and do whatever the fuck he want to do.
Shit, he was. He was.
Yes.
He was, bro.
He
Anytime
was
in,
not doing whatever the fuck he want to do, bro. Y'all make that sound so that y'all saying that so loose. He was playing good, but doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
it's more so
that's
hyperbole.
different.
It's more so hyperbole. He's literally not doing whatever the fuck he want, but it's just like
I'm talking about in basketball.
Look at you using the
language.
word hyperbole.
Right, you going
in the right way too. What that mean, P?
You going?
What does hyperbole mean?
It's like exaggerated.
Okay.
Extreme exaggeration.
exaggeration.
So,
There you go.
but I'm just saying. You,
Oh, so that word is not. If all of us know the definition, that's not a good word, Mike. L.
I thought. Let me look at my dictionary again.
Yeah.
What does ambivalent mean?
Ambivalent.
I'm feeling a little ambivalent about this series.
On the fence.
decisive.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I went to college for a little
I
bit.
put context. If I didn't put the context clues
No, if
in
you
it,
didn't put the context, I would not. I was not gonna get that.
Word of the day, ambivalent.
Because how you did, you made the face of being indecisive. Like yeah.
you know,
But
word of the day.
I'm gonna look up
in
word of the day. Let's see.
basketball forms, I just don't. I don't think he do without a fucking.
It's a bogus word. What is it?
Am I making?
I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, no, you are making
Okay.
sense a little bit.
Do you think Jimmy Butler on offense does whatever the fuck he wants? He's a good player. I mean, really,
There are
he's a
times
great,
where
he's a great
yes,
player.
there's times where yes. The last 4 games of the series, no.
Yeah.
The first 2.5, absolutely.
And this series,
In this series,
And
in the game 2, where,
Game 2,
where we
second
was
half.
working, yes.
yes,
When
and
Grant
in
Williams
that
got in
first
his
round
ass,
against Drew Holiday, he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted
exactly.
Yes.
That's what I consider doing whatever the fuck you want to do when you having them type of performances. But Jimmy Butler, he ain't doing that like on a. But I that's what I like about him. Actually, I think that's the best thing about this game because I think you got guys who do that and then they kind of go into a like Tatum. Tatum be doing that shit, and then it's like now the shots ain't falling, and it's like what else are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What you pointing to him for?
The Jokic brothers are basically like the arch nemesis of the Miami Heat, based on the Markieff Morris thing a few years ago.
Is the word nemesis?
The word of the day was nemesis.
That's
according to the
weak.
Yeah, right. The Webster dictionary said the word of the day is nemesis. So there
I
you go.
seen motherfuckers tweet now. They was like, the Morris brothers still own the damn Heat.
Hey,
No, he got traded, right?
once the Heat, always the Heat. But Jimmy Butler was on the court when that happened. Markieff Morris got real life whiplash, bro. And
Was
missed
out
like
for a long
6
time.
months of basketball.
Who would they get into? It was Jay Crowder. He's like, you ain't finna talk about my coach like that, or don't come in my coach when he's talking about Tibbs. This one he was on the Wolves.
Yeah,
So Jimmy Butler a rider. He a rider for sure.
yeah, I do remember that.
And I want to see Mike Smith at the games more too.
That shit's
That was the
hilarious.
first thing Jimmy did after the game. Was
Just
dap up
dapped up Mike Smith.
Like, oh hell no,
Mike is all ugly and shit.
bro, it's crazy. He's in an entourage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the entourage.
Like he posted
Every
on the-
game, he's there.
You know what I'm here for.
You posted on the story. You know why I'm here for. Yes, that was hilarious.
We need to use our connections to get Jimmy on the show. That can't be a hard get, bro.
Nah, shout out to me and Mike tied
Say
for
no.
life. Me and Mike tied for life. So I
Absolutely.
met my girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would,
Shout
Jimmy
out
Butler
to
on the
his
show would
big-
be
Why-
very
Y'all
good.
should have came to that party. Terrence was in that bitch kissing and shit. I'm look at him.
Get him
Were we
caught up.
invited? I don't remember if we were invited.
Probably not.
I don't even,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
even know
think we
Mike
were
Webster. I'm excited to see how much zone is used
Mm-hmm.
and see how Jokic goes against that zone. Like I said, I watched those minutes yesterday, and he was doing his fucking thing like it didn't exist. How often do we see it? What's that?
2 questions.
Uh-huh.
Starting X Factor, bench X Factor.
for
Both teams.
Both teams.
Uh,
I think
the
starting.
Heat is Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry has
For
to
the bench?
still
For
be
the
that
bench?
fire hydrant off the bench that's going to give him that push, that energy, that veteran leadership. Also has some random spurts where he offensively is putting the ball in the hole. And then for the Nuggets is always Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown's always that 6-man engine off
What
that
about
bench.
the starters?
And then for the starters, for the Heat, I think so. Caleb Martin is, I don't.
Let's just assume
We'll
he's
say
starting.
starter.
Okay, I'll go Caleb Martin because he's been the X factor this whole playoff run. And then for the Nuggets side, it's gonna be Michael Porter Jr. The shooting ability, he has to be able to stretch the floor and allow and be able to shoot them out of that zone.
That's so
'Cause
crazy.
There's one thing about him; he is such a bad shot taker, and when they're not falling, he is no easy looks. For
He
him.
had like 6 assists one of those games
I
against
love
the Lakers.
Michael Porter Jr. He got no bag. He said, "I'm gonna shoot over."
if his assist was
Yes.
at 1.5, you taking it?
No.
nah.
I'm not taking it.
and it seems
He's
like
a one assist
yeah.
ass guy.
Yeah.
And it
He's
seems
a-
like in these type of stages, bad shots don't fall.
He the person that get the assist after he taking a shot in his last second. He gonna
just
dish it
dish
off.
Yeah. He get accidental assists.
Oh,
for
for
sure.
start-
Yeah, he contested that a little bit better than I thought.
Yeah, he only passed it to get it back, but the person just
Facts.
took the shot anyway.
For Nuggets starting X Factor, I'm gonna go Jamal Murray. I think that, like you said, the Heat are gonna play a lot of zone. I would like to see Jamal Murray like.
What happened?
That's what, bro. That's what a teacher go over there and bang on that desk.
I'm dead. Y'all hilarious.
Jamal Murray likes to get in his bag and get his in his bag. You can't always do that against a zone.
Yeah,
So it's
he
gonna be.
averaged 35 last series. So
We should have run some zone to slow that down. Apparently,
I think that the X factor for Miami Heat is a 3-point shooter, man. They had like 2 out of 82 games. They had 2 games where they shot over 50% from 3. And in the playoffs, that's almost a fucking daily thing at this point. Do you think it's going to hold up again for another 7-game series? I don't know.
because the Nuggets is not going to struggle like the Celtics were. Not at all. They're not going to go on those off. There were literally like 4 or 5 minute droughts where the Celtics were struggling. I don't know if I could really say that for the Nuggets. So they're going to have to keep.
It doesn't happen often enough. Also, the non-Jokic minutes. I'm trying to keep it on the pod. also, the non-Jokic minutes are important because we just saw the non-Jimmy minutes be won by the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
We got to see if the Denver Nuggets could do the same thing without their star player on the court.
Bam needs to have more than he needs to
Hey,
shoot
this is
efficiently,
the
bro.
last of the Mohegans. Fuck trying to survive without your star. I'm Thibodeau. You're gonna play
Them all,
48.
yeah.
Oh yeah. At this point, everybody should be in the starting lineup. At least should be playing like 38 to 40 minutes, unless you're in foul trouble.
Simply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simply.
Yeah, but even then, that's 8 minutes where he's not on the court. Even let's say 4 minutes off the court. 4 minutes off the court for Jokic in some cases is like 6-point swings.
And also 4 minutes on game time is like completely different from like real time. It's actually probably like 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Damn. In the second quarter,
you got to remember them commercials though too.
Let's say 10 minutes in the second quarter.
Why are we even comparing real time to the game?
I don't know.
So Jeff Green is the backup center, right?
They're gonna be running small. We are not gonna see fucking Thomas Bryant, who we forgot existed after he left the Lakers, or
because he wanted a bigger role.
Yeah, wanted a bigger role, but he might get a ring. Would you rather have a ring or a bigger role?
Reggie Jackson get a ring if they win.
If they win, who else?
Reggie Jackson's still on the team, right?
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
He got some minutes against the Lakers. There's like 6 of them total. He just owned the court. Like,
that's kind of crazy. He went from like being like the starting guard for the Clippers to not playing.
Hey,
yeah, big moments for this.
Yeah.
Did he? That was Luke Kennard. I'm sorry. Remember when they were down by 35 and came all the way back, and Luke Kennard hit the biggest shot?
Yeah, that game winning
shot. That was crazy.
He's now Memphis Grizz.
That was like the second biggest comeback in NBA history. That random game in February or something. Yeah, man, this series should be fun. I know a lot of people aren't looking forward to it. They're not hoop heads. We are.
Yeah, I don't care about the ratings being down.
None
that would not affect me watching the series.
I promise you, I haven't seen.
Maybe it does though.
More people say rigged because they're talking about the NBA is rigged or whatever. I was like, you would have seen Celtics versus Lakers if this shit was rigged.
Absolutely.
I hate that narrative that is rigged.
Maybe the ratings do trickle down to us. Think about it. We work for a company that owns NBA rights right now.
Okay.
So if the ratings are down and the contract for the NBA is over, the TV deal is over next season. Oh no, our contract ends this year, so we can pay based on last year ratings. So we good. We chilling.
I like that.
We doing the corgi bets?
Fuck that corgi.
I said that too many times when people went during the Lakers series, bro.
Fuck that corgi.
It came back and bit you in the ass, right?
Like a dog.
Nah, he was wrong though.
He was wrong. But now shout out to the.
How many games y'all think this series going?
Hopefully at least 6, so we can be in Miami, win some shit. Like if can you imagine a series end in 6 and we're in Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
one way or another. I mean, obviously, if the Miami Heat win and we're there, that would be crazy.
Also, we might get Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro's supposed to come back game 3.
Game 3. Is that a good idea?
I don't know.
I guess we'll see what game 1 and game 2 look like.
Yeah.
If they can't score, then bring it back.
What was was it a hand injury?
He broke his hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I obviously feels gonna be, something that matters, but it's not like he broke his knee or something. Like I feel like you could kind of. They already said he's ramping up activity. I think it's a better situation than probably than worse.
Yeah, I think a hand injury is a little different than a knee injury when you talk about returning.
Jalen Brown just played through a hand injury and he sucked.
Hey, it was a lot of shit that went wrong. You can't just put that on Jalen.
Maybe that's
Brown.
why his hand was so loose.
No, it was before.
I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
What's y'all dream scenario in this series?
7 games and it's extremely competitive. But I would,
Jimmy wins.
Yeah, I would hate for this to be a sweep and the Nuggets win.
We win as basketball people because if Jokic gets that ring with his career, it's like, whoa. And if Jimmy goes on this run.
He's only 28, which is crazy.
Yeah, only 28. And Jimmy and the Heat going on this run could defy all odds of how we view playoffs and seeding and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And then the Nuggets got to go into the offseason like, damn, we made it this. We finally got here. We got our ass smoked by Jimmy and Eric Spoelstra.
I don't think they would get smoked. There's no scenario.
Well, no, not get smoked, but we lost.
Okay.
To an 8 seed.
Do you panic then and start? We got to explore our MPJ trade packages.
No.
They want DeMar DeRozan?
No.
There's no better fit for Jokic than a guy like MPJ.
For sure.
I find it hard to put DeRozan on contending teams.
Damn.
Just because of his play style.
He had runs with the Raps.
Then they won a championship once they traded him.
When LeBron toe was a thing.
Once they traded him.
But that's because LeBron was out west by that time.
Yeah.
Faces.
LeBron was in the East. Toronto would have no championship. Simple.
Probably. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him.
Do not let KB's carcast and get you tripped up into some shit where Toronto fans have a vendetta against you.
Oh, yeah, we do got to go to Toronto. Yeah, actually, Toronto, I'm happy y'all won your championship.
I am too, because I love that Kawhi Leonard shit.
Yeah.
Kawhi was on
Did the doink too?
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah,
and then they call him.
I think that's got one of the the rawest pictures in history though, where it's got him shot and it's got everybody in the background.
He like this. What he doing something with his tongue out or something?
And he showed emotion. He was yelling and shit after he shot it. And I remember that offseason was so fucking fun because they saw Kawhi Leonard at a Home Depot with moving boxes.
Oh yeah.
And they was like, he not re-signed again.
After he won that championship, that's when I was like,
Serge Ibaka, they checked Serge Ibaka's plane to see where he was gonna sign a free agency. That's crazy as fuck.
I felt like we got the most best clips for like after he won that, like in
I might
that
have to make a video about that.
in that stretch when he won the championship, because that's when he had like the fun,
blunt.
he had the fun guy shit.
Rolling the blunt.
He had that. What did he say?
Hey,
Hey baby,
Hey is with the Clippers. He said what?
hey baby, or he
Hey, yo,
says
baby.
what up baby, or
Oh,
some
yeah.
shit like that.
What did he say? Fuck.
It's something.
What it do, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's when that board man. I feel like board man started coming up
Yeah.
more.
And also that he walked up to the mic like,
And now he don't play.
because he got that Ken laugh.
It's crazy how Kawhi is that player where once he retires, we'll probably never hear from him again.
Same thing with
I got
Jokic.
his number.
Oh, when Jokic retired, it's over with.
Yeah.
He's going back
He's going
to
back to
Serbia,
this country. Yeah.
and it's raps.
The conversation with that is so funny. Like you gotta love basketball and all of that.
I kind of feel a way about all European players when you think about it. We don't hear from Dirk no more. He got a statue. He showed up for the statue.
But he
but-
still be like, yeah, he still be at the games.
Oh, you know what? Dirk do have a sister for a wife.
They just not a. They just not a.
I feel like
some players.
it's
just
a
ain't
long time
attention
away. I feel like
whores.
Luka would come back.
Oh. You think Luka will stay here?
Not stay here,
I mean-
but he would have a lot of like. I feel like we would see him more often than we
Well,
see
he
like
has
Jokic.
a Jordan deal, so he has to.
I mean, by the time he retired,
Yeah,
who cares?
unless that motherfucker become lifetime. If he win a
Yeah.
championship, it might.
He
Nah,
damn near might have a
yeah.
lifetime. They would probably give him a lifetime right now.
Does Jordan? Jordan?
Even though all
or
Jordan
Nike?
brand sneakers suck. All they
No,
hooping
Jason
sneakers
Tatum's
suck.
shoe. Is,
Oh, Tatum is the one exception right now.
He's defying it.
Maybe that's
Is
just
it comfortable? I
showcasing.
saw you got it. Is it comfortable?
I haven't hooped in it, but I
I
wear
haven't
mine.
even
I
seen
wear
it.
mine like
I feel like I'm.
Oh, you just wear them casual?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Because I've never hooped in a
I wore
pair
my
of
Hardens to
Jordans.
the studio.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
do
we
remember
don't
that.
hoop, so I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
wearing my shit. I'm gonna wear them.
Hard to be wearing Hardens to the studio.
I love those pink ones he got. Those pink ones, they cold.
I like those, but I
So-
think ours are the best. The chrome,
Yeah, I like the chrome ones.
yeah, the chrome.
What'd you just say ooh about?
He was looking at the
I was looking
Tatum.
at the Tatum shoes. I would rock those.
Oh, yeah.
You need something because them big ass Kyries
I
is not
know,
it, bro.
I know.
Them bitches is so bold.
And I remember-
I can't believe he hooped in them. He
I don't think
probably
he
went right to
has
his
though,
lows.
because isn't that the sneaker that they put out without his approval?
Maybe that bitch is ugly.
I think that's the sneaker they put out
I
without his
just bought them
approval.
solely because that was the day they let go, and I was
Because
like,
you
I
broke.
just wanna-
You cheap.
I just want to buy it because it's Kyrie.
Can you get some on court? Well, you don't got no
Yeah,
off
on-court
court drip.
drip.
You got no
I need to
off-court
get some new hooping shoes. I'm so mad that I bought a pair of LeBrons and like I wore them once and I never hooped them again because they're too big. They're too bulky.
If you're gonna
bro.
get LeBron, it's got to be the 20s.
I literally.
The 20s are clean as
Yeah.
fuck. They're a small guy shoe, and they feel good as fuck. Guess if you
It's
go get
the one-
LeBron, get a
no,
20.
It's ones that I would get for sure. I forget what. I think they're like the LeBron, whatever. But they got like the South Beach color.
I wanted those equality ones. I thought those were cold.
Of course.
That's
you
a that's a
wear
you sneaker.
those. That's such
Did
a
you have that
Derrick.
model before?
I do have. I have the
Yeah.
Martin ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such a Derrick shoe, bro.
Isn't it one is white and one is
One's
black,
black,
and it says
yeah.
equality across the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a Derrick sneaker. Derrick do like words on his shoes.
I got them LeBron Big Bang ones, them orange ones from Cleveland.
I did too.
the
I got
LeBron
those too.
nines
Never put
are-
them on.
I'm gonna have to give me a pair of LeBron now.
Let me see.
The South Beach colorways.
Yeah. Do you see that price?
To hoop in
I mean, hell yeah.
for that price?
What was the
Hooping
price?
shoe- It was like $400.
Oh.
That's the
That
for
was
your
for the
size.
little
It's probably like 6'7".
I'm finna get the Zoom Generations. I don't know why I've been waiting. I might buy them bitches right
So
now.
is that the GT?
No, that's the first one, the first ever LeBron shoe.
Oh, okay. Because I like those GTs that De'Aaron Fox and
EJ
Sabrina and
loves
Yeshku.
them.
They fucking clean and they're comfy. I used to hoop with them. I've hooped in those 2 times or so.
We should hoop soon.
Definitely should.
But now Sabrina's got a new sneaker
No,
coming
we
out.
should hoop
and
soon.
they're
Don't try to talk
hard.
over that. Who got a new shoe?
Sabrina.
Oh yeah, her shit. Her
I
shit
cannot
look
wait
like
for those
something they
drop.
would have gave Kyrie.
Yeah, I cannot wait for those to drop. I told Mike this. Aja hit me up a couple days ago saying that he want to come to Chicago and hoop at that gym that's on the 17th floor that Brickley be hooping
Oh
in.
yeah.
And I was telling him it's gonna be hard to get that. But AMP got the clout where they can probably get it rented out pretty easily. If they
said they
say they film a
we need to
video
get
or
that.
whatever.
I remember when they was talking shit about me and D Mills in that video.
Oh yeah, him and Low. Yeah.
But Low ain't AMP, so
He's not AMP. No, probably not.
That shit would be a waste of time trying to hoop against Low.
Well, it could be you and D Mills versus Agent and Phantom.
Shit gonna be
Y'all
a
better win
blood
by
battle.
20.
Shit gonna be a blood.
Neither of those dudes are the hoopers of the group.
Yeah, it's not like he said Duke Dennis.
Yeah, Duke is the athlete of the group. Shout out to them. They've been killing the game too. Shout out to them. Is there anything else basketball related worth talking about right now? Because I'm gonna let this breathe. Because I wasn't here last episode. I watched or not. I'm capping. I didn't watch the whole thing because y'all put together an hour and a half show before Isaiah Thomas came on. But the comments was like, yeah, 2-hour episode because Kenny not there because Kenny be trying to wrap the show up so fast.
Yeah.
Which I just do it when it feels like there's nothing else to talk about. Because I would rather us just not talk than have dead air.
There's no need to force it.
So I'm just gonna sit back and let it breathe.
We be chatting. I'm a chatter.
All right, I'm gonna let it breathe then.
I'm a chatter. That's what I do. How everything been going?
I'm going to Toronto in a couple days.
Are you excited?
Not really, because I'm not. I'm going for a wedding,
Yeah.
and I'm there for like a day and a. But it's the exact same as a Philly trip. I get in at nighttime ish. The next day is the wedding, then I'm out the next morning.
Wow, you landing at night.
No, I might be exact. Not at night, but like middle of the day.
Okay.
Middle of the day.
What's that say?
This one.
Is that the Simpsons couch?
This is a Simpsons couch, and then this one's Steel Healing. It's my mom's name.
Oh,
That's
you
Simpsons
don't even
couches.
love your mom.
Are you ever, you think
Hey.
you're gonna fill out your whole leg at one point?
I might, because I'm almost there. But I showed my mom this. Guess what her response was?
That's cool.
Why you get that? Swear to God, why you
I
get
told
that?
my mom want me a leg sleeve, and she like, she said something like, and she gonna be on it or whatever.
Oh,
I think it's cool too. I see the thing that only problem I have with my tattoos is I'm not creative. We're like they're so on the nose. Like instead of getting my mom's name, I probably could have got something that represents her instead of the actual name.
do you have anything about your dad?
I want some portraits.
The back of my leg is the Chicago Theater.
Oh.
He also has that tattoo.
Oh, y'all got a matching tattoo.
Not technically, but yeah.
Okay.
He got it 40 years ago,
Oh, so
and I just got it 12 years ago.
okay.
Damn, 12 years ago?
No, I'm exaggerating. Maybe
I
10
was-
years ago. How old am I?
27.
I got it when I was 18.
Was I
Oh.
right though?
So it was
I'm
one of your
26.
first tattoos.
No, my first tattoo I got when I was 16.
Oh, damn.
You
You
got
started young.
Yeah.
See, I was there for that.
You were?
Not literally, but he was a friend of mine when I got it.
Oh, I thought he was literally.
Nah, the worst shit is when he fucked up his shoulder because I promise you kept sharing that damn picture when he got surgery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that picture.
when y'all getting tatted, you were supposed to been get tatted. You want a lion eating a frog on your arm or some big guy, some typical big guy shit, right? You
Yeah.
I
want
just
it-
wanted a lion, a great looking lion. I had DM somebody about it. I told her, she told me to give. I was like, I want you to come up with the idea, but she didn't have anything.
I have a
lot
tattoo
of
by the end of
cases-
this year.
Cap. A lot of cases
By
you
the
got
end
to
of this
send them
year,
like
Pete.
reference photos.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything that like I was looking on Google and on Instagram and shit.
Wait,
I couldn't find
you said the
anything.
nigga wanted a lion eating a frog? imagine he had the
You
tattoo
couldn't
of like a
find a
bear
fucking
catching a
lion?
salmon in the
Anything
river.
that like stood out to me were like, oh, this is the idea
you
that I
was looking at
have.
Google.
Yeah, what the hell
Yeah,
is you
Google.
doing? Because I feel
Pinterest.
like that's a normal ass tattoo.
Fact,
That there's a
fact.
million of
I
them in
feel
the
like
world.
Which what do you?
Pinterest is the place to be if you want tattoo references.
But I feel like she would have had one sitting around already. A tiger. That's the
Yeah.
literally the
She
Every
has like
tattoo-
a whole portrait. Like she specializes in animal tattoos. That's her thing.
and she couldn't make you a tiger. You said
she didn't want to be your client. She,
yeah.
hey, I'm gonna be very, very real. There are a lot of tattoo artists that don't want to tattoo black skin,
Oh,
and I'm not saying she's that, but there are a lot of artists that don't want to do it.
because it's hard.
It's harder. Yes, it's more of a challenge to make popping
I see what
tattoos
you
on
mean.
black
Yeah,
skin,
yeah.
and because of that, some artists can like. Have y'all ever watched Ink Master?
No.
Yeah.
Ink Master is a show that's like it's fabricated. It's a competition.
No, I'm lying. I
with tattoo
watched
artists.
Miami Ink or some shit like that.
Tattoo artists be trying to win money, yada yada yada. And if I want a challenge, I get to decide. Okay, Mike, that's your canvas. He wants some stupid shit.
Oh,
Pierre,
don't
this
tell
your
me some
canvas.
underlying racism. I win,
I-
so now Darrick has to tattoo that black.
Every time that there's a black canvas, that person, whoever's the biggest threat, if we think Pierre's that dude, we want to get him eliminated. Get him the black guy
That's
because it's
crazy.
hard to make a good tattoo on
I
a black
mean,
skin. It's harder.
Yeah.
But if a good artist is going to do their work, and if somebody's even questioning, I don't want them to tattoo me. Because at the end of the day, it's going on my skin. So if you don't feel confident that you can make your shit look good on my skin, then fuck you anyway.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out the way, motherfucker.
There's a ton of black artists that specialize in black tattoos.
It don't cost nothing to show niggas some love. Y'all ever seen that skit?
No.
Oh, that shit is so fucking funny, man.
I've had so many different artists. My first artist was a Hispanic man in a barbershop. My most recent artist is just...
He did your shit in a barbershop?
My first tattoo. You think I was 16 and went into an actual tattoo shop? You can't. It's illegal.
I went to the barbershop before in
I
Ontario.
see plenty niggas with tattoos and they young as hell.
But they didn't go officially.
Oh my god.
They didn't go to a licensed place.
Yeah. Because they can lose their license from tattooing people under 18. Even with a parent's permission. But the dude at the barbershop was like, how much money you got? I bet.
Because who was that? Who was that at the football draft who was tatted as hell? Well, he was like 13 years old. Dude, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, tattoos are becoming less taboo. Maybe at 13, we might not be smart to have it there. But I mean,
I feel like that's got to be weird because your body's still growing,
exactly.
too, right?
Your
so
tattoos are going to look weird
out.
when you get older.
And, I memean, you change as a person so often. At 13, if I got shit that I liked at 13 tatted,
yeah, you probably had Lil B.
I would 100% have a SpongeBob related tattoo. I'll tell you that much.
Would you have a wrestling tattoo?
No, at 13, I was done with wrestling.
Okay.
What'd you say, Mike?
I still might get a SpongeBob tattoo, but I would get some that represents it.
I'm not against a SpongeBob tattoo.
I feel like I would have something skateboard related.
At 13?
If I would have got something.
Right now.
Oh, no.
D-Mill will be the first one to be like, can you think you could ollie down them stairs, Mike, when he sees some? I'd be like, bro. I'd be like, can you? He'd be like, yeah.
I'd be wanting tats, but then I'd be like, I like not having them because everybody's getting them.
I think my next one is going to be a knee piece.
The thing that makes me like, I be seeing
I think I might
people
get
rock
my Rich Vision eye on my knee.
Seeing people with tats and how they be rocking them and be like, that shit looks actually raw.
I mean, we live in basketball culture and like every basketball player's tatted. Like Davion
I thought the Davion Mitchell shit was raw.
Hard as fuck, bro. Like if I were gonna redo my leg, I would do it like that, where it's like one piece together instead of like hodgepodge shit.
Did y'all see what Post Malone did when he got sedated to be put to sleep so he can get all his
Darrick does the same thing.
So he had like a long session and he didn't want to stay up for it, so he had them put him to sleep for the tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, that nigga has
but goddamn,
he has tattoos literally like everywhere though. Like I'm pretty sure. He has a bunch on his face. I don't know if he got any like on his eyelids, but I feel like you might as well at that point.
I think he got shit on his eyes.
I enjoy the fucking pain of a tattoo. I wouldn't be.
I
there
heard
for
Lil
it.
Darrick do the
I
same
wouldn't mind
thing.
the pain, but I don't like sitting in one spot for hours and hours.
Oh well,
and that's why they go to sleep.
So
I would rather go to sleep in that point.
Well, that's not normal. That's
some
celebrity
shit.
shit.
On my back.
You just want to lay on your back
because if I'm sitting up, my back is going to lock up and start hurting.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember Lloyd Banks was getting a big back piece, and a tattoo artist had to like bend because it went to the lower part, and he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry, Lloyd. I'm not gonna be able to do it." Like his back locked up on him.
When I was doing
an 8-hour tattoo.
I got another tattoo on the back of my leg. I don't like it.
You can't see it though.
You can't see it. It's on the back of my leg. He had to look at my bare ass cheek for 4 hours while he did it.
You was farting silently and shit.
I was trying not to, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
One of my homies went and got waxed like Darrick do. He said he farted.
I've never farted during a wax.
But the lady didn't care.
She when I got waxed, she said all the bodily responses or whatever are normal, so don't feel bad. So she was talking about like getting hard, farting, or all of that shit. And I was like, damn, bro.
Holly above.
What a weird job that like dudes are just getting.
What if you farted and you got hard?
That would tell a lot about myself.
I would never. The hard part is never happened.
It's almost impossible. You're enduring pain. I mean, maybe again.
Some men like the pain.
I don't care. I don't kink shame, but you're enduring pain. That's the last thing on my mind is.
Yeah.
That would show lack of
control.
I mean, it's your body. It's hard to control, but when you need to control, you should be. I mean, it's hard. Let me not say nothing crazy.
I feel like that's like because. I mean, you don't really that shit don't happen unless you're turned on, but you really shouldn't be turned on.
But at the same time, sometimes your body just do shit that you can't control. Somebody nipples getting hard. They ain't like they nipples get hard.
That's because it's just cold in the room.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't.
Yeah. And shit, the mind can wander. You might not be in that like in like, say you're getting your tattoo, your mind might wander, or it might not be a tattoo, maybe whatever, but like your mind could wander to like a different part. And it's like,
Oh, you a freak.
Hey,
you gotta have
the
them
way
flashbacks.
The way Twitter been, you might want to stay off that phone.
Yeah, you might just scroll on some shit.
Oh God,
Bro,
bro.
Twitter has been out of
yeah.
fucking control, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
I didn't see no shit on
I
Twitter.
don't like nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't see no shit on Twitter. I seen
wanna see if I
motherfuckers
can
coming to
find
me
it.
and talking about some.
Me and Darrick talked about it all day on Twitter. If you scroll, you're going to just see women, and that's like, where's this coming from? I don't follow these people. I'm
You
not
talking about with
liking
the
it.
suggested
The
shit?
For You.
No, the
Just
For
on
You
your
page.
page.
That For You. I don't be scrolling on that For You shit, bro.
You
Let
don't?
me see. Let me see.
No,
if
I
can
just go to the
find-
people I
too many-
I just go to the
follow-
people I follow because they just put ridiculous shit up on my thing. And it also be like that now too, where it's just like if you go on a post and look through the comments, it'll be like 4 comments on the post. If you keep scrolling, it'll just have like some random ass feed for you to look at.
Oh.
Like, I
But
just refresh my
no,
page and
what
it's
I
a
seen
girl
yesterday,
I've never
motherfuckers,
seen it.
motherfuckers said he talking about Mike. You seen Offset story? You seen Offset story? I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I
By the
didn't,
time the second
did
nigga
see
come out,
Offset story though.
I didn't see it. I don't know what it was.
You
I
didn't see
saw- I
it?
definitely
No.
saw
by the
it.
time
It
the
was a
second
big-
nigga said something, I'm like, bro, I already
Oh.
know
It's
what it
Cardi
is.
B.
It was
Oh, it was?
Cardi B.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my vote's moving. I'll tell you that.
So I should have tuned in.
Oh, look, it's on my timeline right now.
Oh, okay.
There it is. It's sitting there. And this is on my
Oh.
I don't this is not somebody that I follow. This is not somebody that I follow unless they follow me.
Oh.
And it's on my timeline of Cardi B.
She caked up.
Shout out to Cardi B, man.
But that ain't nothing you have. Cardi B literally used to strip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised Mike hasn't seen it. Like,
I love it. Fuck it. Bring it
Bro,
on.
what is people on, bro?
I'm
That's
dead.
That looks ridiculous. Talk about some break it on.
This picture is crazy. Marcus Smart is complaining while Caleb is shooting.
Shooting the ball, that was funny as hell. They was doing a lot of that this series, just crying.
Yeah. It's the way of the hoop. It's the way of the land, man. It's the way of the land.
Well, I'm getting on my mic shit. I got to piss, so we can wrap this up.
Hey, thank y'all so much for watching this episode of Through the Wire, man.
You be so quick.
June 15th, we in Miami. Hit the link in the description. tcwtour.com. RSVP completely free. Doors open at some time. Show starts at another time. Just be there or
Who am I?
and miss out on greatness.
All right, y'all. We out.
Peace.